This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Is there anyone that's gonna listen to our story all about the girls we came to rate? They're the kind of girls you want so bad you must be sorry. Our apologies go out to Kate. A girl. Hey, everybody.
You didn't do the second girl.
Oh, girl.
There you go.
I'm sorry, everyone, for
so
that.
very brave
The
of you,
Beatles. Out of all the songs out there,
I was going Tom Jones until about an hour ago.
it's not
what did that one sound like?
unusual.
It's She's a Lady.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa,
That's a good
whoa, whoa, she's a lady. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, speaking of ladies, I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And Jacob?
And we want to thank you for listening to the first part of our 80s one-hit wonder bracket, which we did last week. We had a good time with that, although, gentlemen, I have a confession.
Oh, I'm ready.
I feel that we missed a song.
Joel, are you sure it's not one of the wild cards we have ready for next episode?
I'm pretty sure, because to me it was just interesting to go back and look at this, because on our Facebook page, Greg Pascal, friend of the show, host of Greg's Guide to New Music
Indeed.
on the Podbash Network, he said, "I'm still sad you didn't include Real Life's Send Me an Angel."
So good.
And I was like, why didn't we include that?
Yeah.
Did it chart? Do we actually know that?
I don't
I'm
know.
sure it did.
I can look it up. Hold on here. Let me
But Greg, we're sorry we dropped the ball. It doesn't matter because it's not going to be on the next show anyways. We're really, really, really sorry.
But that whole "Send Me an Angel" from Rad, the bike song, is one of those moments where it's iconic for me in my 80s childhood. But it looks like it did chart Billboard Hot 100 29.
In Uganda. Okay, great.
No,
Excellent.
U.S. Billboard Hot 100.
Hey, speaking of charting, I signed us up for Chartable, which will track when we get new reviews and when we chart somewhere. Last week, we peaked in Honduras in the top 100. What? But then we fell out of the top 100 by the end of the week. Very disappointed.
I think you offended them.
I know.
honestly.
Something happened. I don't know what it was.
Well,
It's
weird. And speaking of reviews, we have a couple here I'd like to read from iTunes. We got some new iTunes reviews. This one's from BCCA, which I'm assuming is Becca, but it's just BCCA period. She says, "I look forward to the podcast every week, even after a year of listening." She's been listening for a year?
Right. Usually people give up right before the year.
There's a lot of nonsense, which is annoying at first, but after only a few episodes, I feel like Joel, Kent, and Jacob are my brothers now. They are so funny. I would never say that to their faces, and it really puts me in a good mood for the whole week. I feel like some of these are backhanded compliments, but honestly, my favorite podcast ever, which is pretty nice.
We'll take it.
Sounds great. Yeah.
And then one more. This is from Firetruck 421. They mainly talk about TV and films, and their discussions on every topic is the most entertaining debate ever. Even better, their attempts at remaining family-friendly is essentially 100%. And you can tell because they'll always mention it when they're not. Every moment in their podcast is relatable, and they consistently keep you engaged in the conversation. With literal laugh-out-loud moments every minute or so, it's practically impossible to stop listening once you've started. Love Baconsale and can't wait till we meet Kevin Bacon.
Do we need a family-friendly just this whole episode?
Yeah, let's do that.
I think so.
Yeah.
I actually paid for that review right there. That was so nice. That seemed fake. Just a little bit.
But that's not what we're talking about today.
It was probably
Right.
somebody from Honduras.
It's
honestly.
probably it was one of our fans in
Yeah,
Honduras.
I think that's probably what happened.
And then he
there.
left.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Jacob?
Great question. Great question. You know what? I think I'll leave it to our unannounced guest to tell us.
We have a guest on the show?
We do.
Let me turn left. There she is.
Shocking.
Yes.
She's also on the picture, by the way. I'm
So,
just saying.
if you'll
Yeah.
remember, listener, from our last episode, which was what was that title? Where we ranked
Man Crush Monday is back in July 2018, episode 163.
right. And on that episode, we had Lindsay, also known as Nerdy Blackbird.
Nerdy Blackbird, nerdy Blackbird.
Will you sing
Do you
your
know we
theme
have a song
song?
about you now?
Yes, I know. I love it every time I hear it.
So, Lindsay, tell us what we're talking about today.
So I think we're talking about women today, right?
Yes.
They hope so.
We're talking about women.
it seems only fair because we were so derogatory towards men back in July.
We objectified so many men back in July.
And there were so many complaints of like, you got to make it fair. You got to talk about women. We're like, maybe
We're
not,
like,
guys. I don't
endless-
know.
we just
complaints.
want to do the Man Crush show. And people are like, no, if you do the Man Crush show, you have to do the Woman Crush show.
We're like, no, it's 2018. There's no way
Fine.
we're getting away with that. But, people were just insistent.
So we're going to do it.
Here we are.
In the sake of political correctness, we are now going to rate women.
Wow, is that a one-liner?
Yeah.
But, Lindsay, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You've been here before, but for those who are maybe listening to the show for the first time, Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I run during the day a video production / marketing firm, but we
I
also.
thought you meant like I run during the day.
I wish I ran during the day.
Like, what a great job.
A video production, you say?
Yep. We also have a 3D animation school where we teach animation to kids in the evenings. And we actually do homeschool groups during the days now, which is pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then
What's the name of it?
Paper Plane Productions and Paper Plane Learning.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then a little bit about yourself. What do you enjoy doing, Lindsay?
I really enjoy doing theater, so that's usually what I fill my evenings with if someone will cast me.
For example, right now.
Right now I'm in 12 Angry Jurors out at the Empress.
Nice. Just for about another week or so, right?
Yeah, it actually closes this Saturday, so.
Like this coming Saturday?
Womp,
Wait,
womp.
this Saturday or the
Everyone-
Saturday after the show airs?
No, it closes this Saturday.
So it's already
Before the
done.
show
So you might as well
Sorry.
just cut that.
It's a great plug. The next play, we'll get you on
Yes.
early.
But
Yeah.
no, honestly, I wanted to say this just for me. I haven't talked to the guys about this, but last time when you were on, because Kent tends to like bring people on. Sometimes we're like, who's this person? We don't really know them. And he brought you on and we're like, okay, we'll see how it goes. And we enjoyed so much having you on our show. We had a blast. And we enjoyed all the nerdy references that you gave us. And we, one day we'll probably bring you on as a regular show. But for now, we just need you to objectify women a bit.
I'm happy to help that
I mean,
way.
it's real funny because you're actually like a geek, right? Like
I am.
you speak Elvish, right?
I do.
I like how you say that in humility.
I
Like,
do.
it's okay.
How do you say
Not
I do in
Klingon.
Elvish?
No, I'm not. I'm not even going to start down this
Please.
road. No.
Well, we'll save it for another show. But
I've not heard this. What does this even mean? Speak Elvish.
Yeah, like Lord of the Rings.
yeah,
Okay. I have to hear this, Lindsay.
It's like
Okay.
parcel tongue, only attractive.
That's a great sentence.
t-shirt for it.
I'm ready.
Autumiklaroku.
Okay. What did you say?
You look like an orc.
But it sounded like a compliment.
I haven't heard that since my mom said that to me.
You don't really look like an orc. That was
Okay.
horrible.
But I just want to
Actually,
point
no,
out
that was
that
pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
But Lindsay's actually wearing right now a Captain America necklace with the shield on it, which in honor of Stan
I thought you were
Lee.
going to make up
Yeah.
stuff.
No,
And then it was like
it's
totally true.
And she's
Yeah.
also wearing a Baconsale tank, which is awesome.
It is.
Major props.
I was going to say it looks good. The tank looks good. I've never seen her tank before in real life.
Yeah.
And we saw leggings too at
Yeah, the yoga pants?
at the Quick Wits Baconsale night.
Yeah, that was throwing me off.
that was so cool to like see our merch out there. So thank you. It's
awesome to see that
Especially
as well.
on Jake, too.
Representing.
The yoga pants on Jake, it's not a good
You
look.
see that every week, kid. That's not surprising.
It's your costume.
You're just lucky I'm wearing pants at all.
Hello. So
That's a
and
good way to start the show.
Yes, it is. And Lindsay, I just want to ask you one more question.
Sure.
Seeing as how you were here before back in July, we have made some improvements to the Bacon Cave. So I was going to ask you, what is your favorite thing in the Bacon Cave? Your favorite aspect in here in the Bacon Cave
I really like that there's no clock.
at all?
Yeah. There's actually no sense of time. It's like sensory deprivation.
Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
I'm really a fan of sensory deprivation.
It's like that's the supermarket trick where we just want people to come in here and
Yeah.
have no idea that we've talked
Yeah.
for 2 hours about women.
And it's weird that you had to
You
walk
were
through
really hammering that home.
you had to walk through an entire IKEA to actually get back here too, which is kind of strange, right?
It's a little weird.
Yeah.
But I love IKEA, so it's
Yep.
cool.
Yeah.
They're try the Swedish meatballs. They're in the back over there.
I'm
So.
not
Don't eat those.
vegetarian.
They're horse.
You didn't tell me that. I told you to get real.
You loved them.
All right. Well, we're about 20 minutes in the show. We probably should start.
All right, so we have a bunch of categories. Jake is going to read off to the three of us. We're going to just take turns going and try to justify the objectification. I got to be as professional as I possibly can.
You can, but at the same time, this is funny because, it's not like, at least my research, I'm going to be talking about them as people. I'm not going to be putting out there as like a piece of Swedish meatball.
Oh, I am.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a vegan, so I won't be. So Joel and I will be very clean.
All right, Jacob, let's do this.
Okay. All right, friends. The first category, appropriately, is first crush.
Aw.
Aw.
So who'd you choose for first crush? Who's going to go first?
I'm going to go first.
Okay, first crush.
Yeah, first crush. I think I was about 10 years old, maybe 11 years old. But I went to my cousin's house, and he had a workout video, or I should say...
So we are saying celebrity first crush.
Yes, celebrity
right.
first
Yeah,
crush.
yeah.
These are all, I was going to say,
that.
these are all going to be celebrity categories, music, movies, TV.
Yeah, because they were always the girls that I'd sit by in class and just...
And yours is
stare
from a
at
workout
all the
video.
time. Yeah, no, but mine is from a workout video, and my cousin
This is
had
great
it.
already.
My cousin's older sister, my other cousin, and it was a Cindy Crawford workout tape. Cindy Crawford, who was born in 1966. So she's 52 right now, but this woman is just iconic. That beauty, it's stark.
She
right?
is.
She has a really rich look. She has the beauty mark and everything, but I cannot get over, even today, like how stunningly beautiful she is.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cindy Crawford's one I actually had a poster on my wall of Cindy Crawford.
Oh,
so,
you did?
Yeah.
You were
so-
allowed to have that?
I don't know why my parents let me have it, to be honest. I mean, she was in a one piece, but
Okay.
still, it was like, I don't know. It was just weird that my parents would let me have that. So, Mom and Dad, what the heck were you thinking?
You sure your mom didn't buy it for you?
Yeah, she's like,
I can't remember where I got. I think my friend gave it to me for like a birthday present.
that's the best birthday present ever.
I know.
Oh my gosh. But fun facts. So we have some fun facts about all these people.
Yes, each one we're going to bring up some. Yeah.
So she's been on the cover of over 600 magazines in her career.
600?
100.
Dang it, she beat me.
I know, right? You were on the cover of Busted. I know
I was
that.
550. I'm 550.
And then also, she was her high school's valedictorian and had a scholarship for chemical engineering.
Jeez.
So, I mean,
Chemical engineering?
chemical engineering.
So whole package, basically.
Yeah, basically.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Chemical
Cindy
engineering.
Crawford was the it girl for a long time there in the 90s.
Yeah, and then she tried to act for a little bit. Didn't really work out.
Did she?
Yeah, Fair Game with Billy
remember.
Baldwin.
I don't remember.
Isn't it
Yeah.
a baseball
Billy
movie?
Baldwin?
No,
I feel like
it's
that's a
a,
made-up Baldwin brother.
You could just say any Baldwin and it'd be fine.
It would.
It's a submarine movie like
Baldwin.
similar to Under Siege. No one saw it because
didn't, obviously.
it's bad.
Yeah.
Even when I was like 14, I'm like, I really want to see that movie. But it's rated R. I had to wait like a year.
Till you were 15.
Until my grandma made me a copy.
Oh, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Your grandma that would record random things off the.
So
off
Cindy
the air.
Crawford, what do you guys got?
Well, and I want to bring this up too that Lindsay, you're also here to keep us honest. So if at any time we cross the line of good taste and start, objectifying, in a non-funny way, then let us know.
All right.
I would do my best.
Also, we should clarify that Ken and I made a pact. And the pact was we would not pick Kate Baconsale for any of these categories.
Because she would have been all of them?
Almost all of them.
Okay.
There's someone here that she wouldn't fit because
Right.
they're negative. But
Negativity on an objectification show?
But I feel like almost all these could fit Kate Beckinsale. Would be like, so I feel like my answers is always like Kate Beckinsale, and then in second place it's X.
Right. But obviously she's not your first crush. So who do you got?
No, my first crush. It kind of dates me, but at the same time, I don't care because she's stunningly beautiful.
Not more than Cindy Crawford.
It's Linda Carter.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're not that old.
No, I'm not. No, the thing is, I'm not like the Wonder Woman actually aired from 75 to 79. So I was not alive when it was actually on the air. But in syndication, Wonder Woman was super beautiful. Like, I think I loved her before I knew what a crush was. It was just like, I want to watch this woman on the TV all the time.
She kind of had these granny panties.
Why do I feel this way?
Her costume was kind of a granny panty
It was
outfit.
a classic Wonder Woman outfit.
Right.
But Linda Carter, born July 24th, 1951, Pioneer Day. She doesn't
Not
know
for
that.
her.
She doesn't care.
That's a Wonder Woman day right
But
there.
she attended Arizona State University, and then after being voted most talented, she dropped out to pursue a career in music. And music is her first love. So she was Wonder Woman on TV for a while, but then since then she's been doing music. Before that, she was doing music. That's kind of her life.
Wow.
She was also, if you remember, in Sky High as the Principal Powers. There's a fun little thing there. And then Ken, I thought that you would enjoy this and maybe even relate to it.
Okay, I'm ready.
In 2003, Carter revealed that her mother had suffered from irritable bowel
Oh my
syndrome
gosh.
for over 30 years, resulting in Carter touring the country as an advocate and spokeswoman for irritable
Welcome
bowel
to the show,
syndrome.
Lindsay.
Maybe you guys could exchange emails or something. I don't know.
I'm going to call her.
No, but honestly, like the dark hair with the blue eyes I've always been attracted to that, and I have to credit that partially to Wonder Woman, Linda Carter's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And my wife is actually dark hair and blue eyes, so there you go, honey. It may be something related to this. I don't know. I'll have to talk to
I like
Dr.
how you're trying
McAfee,
to cover your base. Like, my wife is beautiful.
My wife
It's
is
fine.
beautiful.
But still, in this show,
I should clarify, my wife and Kate Beckinsale could fit any of these categories. Almost any
you
of these
said that a
categories.
second as an afterthought.
Backtracking real fast there.
Get him a shovel, quick.
Yeah.
All right, Lindsay, it's
Right,
your
yeah,
turn.
Lindsay, let's hear.
Okay, so obviously not my first crush, which
Right,
I'm
sure.
super glad you guys didn't ask me on the man show, I gotta say.
Yeah, we forgot about
would
this
have
one.
been?
Oh, yeah.
What have it been? You
Let
gotta
us know.
know.
Curious now. She's like,
Hold on,
oh,
he's
what have
British?
I done?
He's not.
He's
No,
animated.
this is someone really embarrassing.
It's He-Man.
It's not.
Who was your first male crush?
Rick Moranis
Wait,
This is great taste.
in Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, okay.
I
See
had
that?
I had a huge thing
Seymour.
for
He's
Seymour.
okay.
Yeah, he's the lovable nerd in that one. And
To the extreme embarrassment
I
of
was
my
worried
mother.
it was like Ghostbusters or something like that. You're
Was
like,
she worried about
that
you?
guy?
I think a
Lewis.
lot.
Yeah.
'Cause my second celebrity crush was Data on Star Trek. So, you know.
There
well,
you go.
I mean, by the third, you've actually got someone that's pretty manly, I think.
Keanu
Or
Reeves.
at least human.
Keanu Reeves.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah.
No, that's down.
That's no.
No, he's more android than Data, I think.
Yeah.
Well said, well said.
I want to follow this progression here. Okay, so we got Rick Moranis,
Yes.
to Data, to Keanu Reeves.
Hey, Data loves
And then
cats.
to like every British guy after that, right? And
Yeah,
then to
pretty
Tom
much.
Hiddleston.
Yeah.
So you like
Yeah.
pasty men for
Yes.
sure. who were kind of lifeless up until, the British guys.
Yes. But we're not talking about men. We're not talking about men today.
I don't know. This is pretty interesting.
This is Rick Moranis show.
That's kind of cool. Okay, but then for your answer for this category.
So for this, I kind of thought, who did I want to be? Like, who were the girls that I just really wanted to emulate? And I remember being obsessed with Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell.
Yes. Yeah.
So I got to go with her, Tiffany Amber Thiessen, for my female first crush.
I also had a poster of her.
Wow, I would have loved to see a picture of your old room.
It progressed. It was actually
It was Kelly. You were there.
No,
are you going to say this every time?
I had posters all over my wall of like movies and stuff like that, but it was Kelly Kapowski above my dresser for a while, and then it was Cindy Crawford.
How old were you?
With Kelly Kapowski?
Yeah.
I think my parents actually got me that poster. She was like...
You got it from, like,
she was
Tiger
like a jean,
Beats.
She was like a jean jacket, but that's a fantastic choice, though.
It really is.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen. She's one of those timeless beauties, too,
Yeah.
where, like, still today I'm like...
Do you remember when
she's so
Zach
beautiful.
pulled the cardboard cutout of her from under his
Yes.
bed? I'm like, I want that
The
so
first
bad.
episode of Saved by the Bell?
Yes. Well, the first-ish.
The first-ish, yeah.
Second
yeah.
season. Yes.
But they revamped it to the... Yeah.
This is going to be a long show.
And she still has the dark hair and the blue eyes.
Yeah.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Kelly Kapowski.
What a
Good
great
choice.
pick.
Good choice. This is going to be a fun show.
The next category is going to be the most attractive musician.
My most attractive musician has sold over 100 million records, making her the best-selling female artist in country music and among the best-selling musical artists of all time. It's Eileen Regina Edwards.
Otherwise known as?
Shania Twain.
There we go.
So Shania Twain is...
Had an ugly first name.
A what?
That was her original name. Is that what you're saying?
Eileen?
Eileen?
No.
Eileen.
That's not an ugly name. What are you talking about?
What was the full name?
My mom's
Eileen
name.
Regina Edwards.
No, it's not.
Jacob, how dare you? How dare you, sir? She changed her name to Shania, which was said to be an Ojibwe word, which means on my way. But then, she said that she had this Native American kind of heritage.
Okay.
But-
she?
Well, it's unclear. Like, people haven't found a word Shania that means that, but I don't know. Anyway,
So she made it up.
so the thing about her is, so she's Canadian, first of all, and she works as like a reforestation project where she just go in the mountains and just do reforestation, and she said just her and her dog playing her guitar all by herself, and I just thought that was kind of a cool fact about her because
Totally crazy.
yeah,
Is she crazy?
he's quoting a
Joel
song.
knows where I'm going to
So
this.
men's shirt, short skirts. Oh. No, and also she was one of those women that I always described as being the perfect woman.
Wow.
And I found that in 2009, she was reported as having the perfect face. This was the BBC reported a study on this, led by the University of Toronto and the University of California, San Diego. So there are universities studying Shania Twain and saying she has, quote, the perfect face.
And this is like 10 years after she was famous, too.
Yeah. Well, and then, so she took an indefinite hiatus from music in 2004, revealing that she was suffering from Lyme disease and dysphonia that led to a severely weakened singing voice.
What's dysphonia?
It's like hoarse voice. It's like a hoarse voice.
Is that like what Cher has? It's cow.
Oh, that's the cowish. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
The other thing I just wanted to
your
bring
next
up about
choice?
Shania Twain
Next winner?
is that the song "Man, I Feel Like a Woman," so catchy. Enjoyed that song so much. And I was working as a teller years ago. I remember I was just sitting there, kind of sing. It was playing in the supermarket I was at, and I worked at. And I was singing along with it, and I didn't realize I was singing along with it until the teller next to me leaned over and said, "You sure you want to be singing that song out loud?" Someone's over there. Man, I feel like a woman. How may I help you? So
I can picture that so easily.
What? Anyway, there you go. Shania Twain.
All right, let's go Lindsay next then.
So for this one, I got to say, Shania, love her. So absolutely beautiful still to this day. But how much pressure would it be to be told you have the perfect face?
I was thinking that too. Is that going to like spiral you down into
Yeah.
like either like super prideful or so much pressure that
Yeah,
you can't
I would-
even like
I would
nowhere to
not
go from
want
there. Show
that.
your face.
It is,
Right.
guys. It's
Yeah.
difficult, but I deal with it every day.
Love you, Joel.
I'm not I'm not symmetrical.
I went with Gwen Stefani on this one. Another
Okay.
one that I grew up
Is
loving.
this
and
like a
admiring.
certain era of Gwen Stefani, or is this just all around?
The woman doesn't age. It's kind of weird.
Right.
She's made a pact with the devil, I'm
she
pretty sure.
still looks like she did in the 90s.
Because she's got to be about 50 now, right?
I don't know
Now,
for sure how
are
old
you
she is.
are you more of a Gwen and Gavin or Gwen and Blake?
No, Gwen and Gavin, please.
Yeah, you like that?
Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't
Nobody
like
likes Blake
I
Shelton.
don't get the Blake Shelton
Gwen
thing.
Stefani likes Blake Shelton.
Why though? I'm sorry, Blake. I'm sure you're really nice.
Hey, he's sexiest man alive,
Well,
2017.
not anymore. Oh yeah. We'll say he's been dethroned by Idris Elba.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jake was so happy to hear that.
I was. She's 49, by the way. I just looked it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
49?
Yeah. She looks like she's about 30. Not
Yeah, it's
fair.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Good choice.
Although I will say,
She's
I
older
didn't
than
really,
Blake Shelton, I just realized.
Is she?
Yeah, by several years.
How old's Blake Shelton?
42.
Wow.
Yeah.
Go Blake.
I didn't really enjoy
Yeah,
the
go
whole
Gwen.
hollaback girl phase
No.
where she got all like R&B.
No.
I kind of stopped
Right.
liking her then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I hate that song.
Yeah, it's terrible. So my pick, I don't have a ton of information.
For
like
most
Joel
attractive
did.
musician.
Most attractive musician. This was always the question where it's like, who would you marry from any era, any musician? And it was either Jerry Halliwell,
Ginger Spice.
Ginger Spice, or Natalie
I-
Imbruglia.
Oh, good choice.
I was actually going to preface this by saying, I hope I know one of your picks, and if not,
Right.
I'm mad at you.
I was quite torn, honestly, with this one. I'm so sorry.
You're all out of faith.
But she was born.
This is how you feel. Are you cold and ashamed?
End it there. End
Okay.
it there. So she was born 1975. She's currently 43, and I kind of love this. She's Australian. She married the lead singer from Silverchair, Daniel Johns.
Awesome.
Oh, I didn't realize
Yeah.
That's
that.
really cool.
Yeah, so they're kind of like this power couple in Australia, which doesn't mean much here.
Does it even mean much in Australia? I don't know.
It means something in Australia. There's a little bit of pride,
Okay.
I think. But Natalie Imbruglia, like even now, has kept her beauty.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love her so
Another
much.
dark-haired, blue-eyed girl.
Yeah.
You guys have a type.
Maybe. Don't say that, though, because apparently Joel said that's what his wife looks like, and I can't agree with that. I mean, I can,
You can agree that my wife looks like that,
but I just can't be like, oh, yeah, she's super hot.
no, you can't say that.
I
Weirdo.
just did.
She's another one I really admired. I
Yeah.
loved her music. Did you know Torn was a cover?
Yeah.
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 Oh, it's insane.
That album's
like
good,
that. It's
actually.
like she's like the fourth person to do the song.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. By the way, I did want to bring up that we polled some people around the office, and a couple answers we got for musician was actually Beyonce, which I was like, oh yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. And then Sarah Evans, which I had to look her up.
Trying to remember who that is. I know that name.
Yeah, but I
Who's
looked
that?
her up and I was like, oh, okay, I recognize her.
I don't know who
but I
that
couldn't tell
is.
you her music.
I feel bad.
By the way, Natalie Imbruglia, that would have been my first crush and probably a double winner for musician if I were choosing.
But we
these.
can't
Yeah.
pick the same person twice, Jacob. Those
I
are the
can.
rules.
I'm not
Also,
playing.
That's true.
We're not counting your votes.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Also,
That's why I don't
thank
have
you
to
for
worry.
agreeing with me.
Yeah. See if I agree with you again.
Sorry, Lindsay.
Joel's
This is what
right.
we do to Jake.
Joel's right every
every
time.
single week. We love you.
Are you guys ready for the next
I don't think
round?
they do love you.
Yes.
They need me. Who's the hottest hero?
Now, if we don't all agree on this one, I think there's an issue.
Not necessarily. I mean, just because there's a lack of female heroes, female
Heroines.
Huge
superheroes,
lack.
if that's what we're talking about.
Well, it's just I think that's the thing is it says hero.
it could be
anything.
Sarah Connor. I mean, or I guess Linda Hamilton. It could
Yeah,
be
that's what I'm
Sigourney
saying.
Weaver.
And it could be a real life hero.
Right.
But
Oh.
Lindsay, let's start with you. Who's the hottest hero?
Wonder Woman.
Which one?
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
I don't know how to pronounce her name.
Right,
Lindsay, high five. We're gonna agree on that, Kent.
High five.
High five.
Yay!
Nice.
We agree.
Gal Gadot, which I did not know this. In Hebrew, her first name means wave and her surname means riverbanks.
I'm actually going to just call her that from now on.
Wave Riverbanks?
Wave Riverbanks.
I like that.
That'll be our code
That's
for her.
right.
Did you see that new Wave Riverbanks movie?
It's so much easier to say than Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. But she's born in 1985, 30th of April 1985. She's 33 years old. She's an Israeli actress, model, and film producer. And at age 18, she was crowned Miss Israel 2004.
Yeah.
Really?
And she's incredibly talented. It's really weird when she was cast as Wonder Woman. I don't think anyone really had any faith in her. Like for me, she was the tall model from Fast and Furious 6. It was maybe 5 or 6. And I was like, oh, that's who you picked?
Yeah, she was in Fast and Furious.
Right.
But then she comes out swinging on
Totally.
Batman v Superman. And
Yeah.
well, she was the best part of that movie, to be honest.
Exactly.
You want me to go? You want
I'm
me
just
to-
thinking. I want you to disagree with that. That Wonder Woman was not the highlight of Batman v
She was an
Superman.
extreme highlight.
There you go.
Yes, but the movie itself. Lindsay, I love the movie. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. It's the taste I have. It's great.
But I want to point this out too that she actually,
If you like terrible things, yeah.
that in real life she served 2 years in the Israel Defense Forces as a combat instructor. Like she knows her stuff, and that's one of the reasons she got cast in Fast and the Furious. And then for Wonder Woman, she was trained in swordsmanship, kung fu, kickboxing, capoeira, and Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's like
pretty
she's
awesome.
tough. Also, as a teenager, her first jobs were babysitting and Burger King.
Burger King for real?
Go Burger King.
I'm still sour.
No, but Gal Gadot is one of those characters, one of those people that I'm like, I don't think anyone can fill the boots of Linda Carter. And then Gal Gadot came in, and I'm like, bravo, well done.
Yeah.
You are
Right.
a good hero.
And a totally different direction in a way, too.
Yeah.
So very
Yeah.
modernized, but still true. Yeah. All right. So next up is going to be, quote, celebrity way out of league of who she married.
Kent's
writing here.
What were you doing when you wrote that?
That was probably at work.
Oh.
No big deal.
Celebrity. Okay, so this is the celebrity who is way out of the league of the person that she married. Like you see the couple
So
together.
she
and you're
married-
like,
she married
how
somebody
did-
ugly,
Yeah, how did she,
basically.
I didn't say that, but how did this person
A
marry
hideous abomination
For
of
example,
human.
I don't know if any of you picked this, but like when Julia Roberts married Lyle Lovett.
Yeah.
Guys, I did it wrong again.
Wait,
No, what'd
did
you do?
Did
What'd
you
you
do
do?
the guy that's way better? Well, of course you did.
Actually, that's the way I read it first, Lindsay, too.
Yeah,
I
well-
read it and I was like, oh, that's a strange way to do this. Why did they choose that?
What's sad is I even asked for clarification and then still did it wrong.
Wait, so okay. What,
Yeah, well, who'd you
perceived
pick
it,
then?
You perceived it as the girl was way out of her league with who she married.
No, the guy was much better looking.
That's what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what
okay.
you're saying. Yeah.
Well, let's start with you then.
Yeah, let's
now
hear
I
it. Let's
feel
hear that
terrible.
Is it
answer.
Hugh
No, go-
Jackman? Did you say Hugh
Yes!
Jackman? Of course you did. You jerk.
What? I know.
He
I
loves
know.
her very
I know.
much.
Wife is a lovely person.
She was actually my alternate, though. I really did pick Anne-Marie Duff, who was married to James McAvoy, is no longer.
Oh, yes.
Not really.
I like that her last name's Duff. I mean, it makes sense.
Not really the best.
Should we
match
look her
person.
up?
I feel really bad now. I'm sorry.
Do you realize you're here on the show today?
Lindsay
Because
failed.
we're judging a lot of people. That's what we do. All right, I'm going to go next. I went with Christina Hendricks and Jeffrey Arend.
Okay, so someone else on here picked Christina Hendricks, and I was like, well, who's she married to? And so I Googled Christina Hendricks' husband, and I went, oh my gosh. So Christina Hendricks from Mad Men,
or
Joan from Mad Men.
Firefly,
yes, you have
Yes.
Saffron from Firefly. And good choice, Ken. I think that's a very good
Yeah,
choice.
you look at the guy. He's the accountant from Devil. He's also in 500 Days of Summer. He's probably been in a lot of TV shows, and the guy is just really tall, really lerpy, but kind of squirrely looking as well. I mean,
Yeah.
he's probably a nice guy.
I'm sure, but-
they've been married since 2009. But you look at the two of them together, and Christina Hendricks is,
Amazing.
Christina Hendricks, exactly.
I chose Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael
Really?
Douglas.
Yeah, but Michael Douglas back in the day.
Yeah,
No,
back in the day.
that's
Yeah.
hot.
No, Romance the Stone.
I've never thought of Michael Douglas as like this leading man type. I always thought he's kind of weird looking.
Have you seen Romancing the Stone?
But yeah, well, Romancing the Stone, Kathleen Turner, sure, let's pair those two up. But Catherine Zeta-Jones, when Catherine Zeta-Jones came on the scene in Mask of Zorro, I think every single teenage boy's mind was absolutely blown by who is this beautiful Spanish woman, and she's Welsh. She's not even Spanish,
Right.
Which is kind of weird to
She's
think
Welsh?
about.
I didn't realize that.
She's
Yeah.
Welsh.
That's fun.
Also, her and Michael Douglas share the same birthday of September 25th.
Only like 50 years apart. Right?
25 years
That makes
apart.
things easy.
25 years apart.
25 years apart.
25 years apart. And that's just it. Is like she was like this young, beautiful actress, and then he's kind of this old, codgerly old man. And I never really, like every time I see him together,
Dude's
I'm like,
got swagger, though.
Yeah,
He
For
does.
real.
His
yeah.
80s roles are just, I think you're forgetting a lot.
He still does.
no, and good on him for having that. But that couple I never quite got.
But if you were Michael Douglas, wouldn't you be like, hey, Catherine Zeta-Jones, star of Mask of Zorro, come on over?
Yeah, exactly.
well, if I were Michael Douglas, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying he's a
But
hottie.
now he's nice.
He's
Yeah.
not a hottie.
He's a step above you, is what you're saying.
I'm saying she's absolutely gorgeous. He's an old, creepy man.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
No, he's on my Man Crush show, if anything.
Good to know.
All right. All right, next, Matt. Our next category is going to be the hottie because they're funny. And I'd like to point out that Kent has spelled the cuz as C-U-Z.
It's so cool. It's so cool. It's text type.
I'm going to
Okay.
go first because I'm going to tick off Kent. And I told him this is going to bug him. But
Oh, I'm nervous.
I said Kristen Wiig
Oh, why would that tick me off?
because you don't like Kristen Wiig.
I actually do.
What?
Yeah.
Every time I bring her up, you're like, Ghostbusters.
They used to date. So
yeah.
he has
it's
to be
fine.
nice about her on the air. Yeah.
No, I have actually always liked her.
Kristen Wiig, obviously known for Saturday Night Live. She's also done movies like Bridesmaids, The Martian, Ghostbusters. And then she actually starred in and co-wrote the screenplay for Bridesmaids. And I just think she's absolutely hilarious.
She's talented.
And like,
Don't you
as
just
much
say
as I-
overrated? Isn't that what you say about
No,
her?
in fact, I was defending her casting in Wonder Woman, saying, let's see what happens. And you guys were like, brr, brr, brr. See,
It's because her as Cheetah just seems weird.
it seems weird, but what if she could do it?
If she can do it, I'm happy. But this is the category of hottie because they're funny, not hottie because they're cheetah.
Okay.
So
category's
see you
next
next.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you just think about her characters on SNL, like the Target lady and the Penelope, the one that's always like, oh, I did that, but I did it like, underwater. And then you also have Denise, which is one of my favorite characters ever from the Lawrence Welk Show. It's the one with the big forehead and tiny baby hands.
Yeah, so good.
But she makes me laugh almost every time. She was the highlight of Ghostbusters. Like I didn't like the remake of Ghostbusters that much, except for Kristen Wiig. I was like, she's actually entertaining me. Like Kate McKinnon, who's funny, was terrible in that movie. But But Kristen Wiig, I think she's attractive because she's just hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Kent.
Okay, I went with Isla Fisher.
Oh, so
No,
pretty.
she's just pretty. She's not a hottie
Just
'cause
pretty,
she's funny.
Joel? Just pretty?
No, I'm saying you can't say that because like she's already pretty, and then the funny adds another layer on top of that.
But such a great layer.
It can.
How cool.
I accept this, Kent. Can I be a judge?
Yes, of
it's
course.
hottie,
Thank you, Jake.
Lest you forget, it's hottie because they're funny, Jacob.
Oh, that's a good point. Joel makes a good point, Kent.
Your vote counts, though.
Okay.
It does now.
All right. I'm gonna go with Joel on this then.
Oh, no. I take it away. Think of how cool she is. Like, she can hang with Sacha Baron Cohen, which he's got to be like a nightmare.
Can you
to be
imagine
to.
being married to him?
I cannot.
Oh my
day.
gosh.
I cannot.
And I'm not saying like he's unpredictable. He's not Tom Green or anything, but he could still probably get really aggravating. But she, in every movie she's in, and generally she's in terrible movies, especially like the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
But she's still the highlight. Tag was a bad movie, but you watch her and you're like, oh my gosh, she still
I
kills
think it was
it.
a bad movie. It was a mediocre movie.
Come on.
I didn't
You
finish
said you liked it.
I liked it because of her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It tried to be a concept, but like she's great in everything she's in because she's so funny. And like I'm excited to see her movies, even though they're awful.
Scooby-Doo.
Oh, Scooby-Doo, I'm okay with Scooby-Doo.
I want to know where you're going with that.
She's great in Scooby-Doo as Mary Jane.
I wish she got cast in more stuff where she
Yeah.
Right.
was more visible because I think she's fantastic.
Wait, I mean, like Wedding Crashers was one of those where it's
Right.
like,
Yeah.
who is this woman? She's
Yeah.
so funny.
She's adorable and funny.
yeah.
So
It's
here's
crazy.
the thing. She actually became a best-selling author at the age of 18. She wrote 2 books.
What kind of books?
I think they were young adult fiction. They were called Bewitched, which is not Bewitched, and also Seduced by Fame. And everyone thinks she looks like Amy Adams.
Yep.
And so Sacha Baron Cohen actually made a Christmas card and put Amy Adams' face over his wife's.
Oh my gosh.
And everyone just bought it, right? And then one time,
How would she be okay with that?
Right.
I don't even.
It's Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
She has to put up with a lot.
Yeah.
So one time she went to a red carpet and Lady Gaga came up and she was like, "Oh, I loved you in American Hustle." And she was like, "Thanks. Yeah, I really enjoyed working on that movie as well." Amy Adams walks in right behind her. And it's just
awesome.
the two of them together. I love it.
That's like Jessica Chastain and Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
thinks they're the same person.
We should do a show about that, like celebrity lookalikes.
Right.
Okay.
We'll bring Lindsay on for that too. All right, Lindsay, what do you have?
So I had Ellie Kemper from
Oh,
The
yeah,
Office
yeah.
and
Unbreakable
Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
There you go. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I think she's adorable, but if she didn't have that killer sense of humor, I don't
Right.
know if she'd be quite as cute as
You
she
walk
is.
right by her and be like,
Yeah.
She would not be charming otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, she really is.
No, like I remember when
That's a
she
good
came
choice.
on The Office, I was like, well, she's trying to be a replacement for Pam.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not going to work. But then she was actually pretty endearing.
Yeah, she did her own thing
And then Pam
entirely.
and Jim became jerks.
Have you watched Kimmy Schmidt?
I've watched like 5 episodes, I think, of it.
It's like the plot's not good.
No.
Like at all. But it is
it's fun.
funny. Yeah.
It's one that I keep in my queue. I'm like, one day I'll watch that, but I just haven't yet.
and now it's canceled because of you. You didn't watch it.
Did it get canceled?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was like 4 seasons long, though.
The final bit of it still hasn't come out.
Oh, okay.
They released half the season, and then I think we get the next half next year.
Okay.
There you go.
That's a good pick.
Other picks on here I just want to bring up. Anna Faris, which I was like, that's a great choice. And then
She's also just pretty though.
Well, she
Yeah.
is.
Still?
Well, yeah. And then someone said Melissa McCarthy,
Oh, yeah.
which was an interesting choice, I thought.
Kim was telling me that earlier.
That was actually my choice.
Which, okay, having watched Gilmore Girls, Melissa McCarthy is absolutely adorable
I
in
agree.
Gilmore Girls.
I was going to bring that up.
It's like she's a separate
She
person
is.
from everything she's done since Gilmore Girls. So I just want to bring that up.
I don't know. I think Bridesmaid she's hilarious in. Also when she's hosted SNL a few
No,
times.
she's very
been
funny in
so
Bridesmaids.
funny.
She's great in
She's played the
SNL,
same
actually.
character after Bridesmaids since
Right.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the same character every time.
It's really too bad.
Yeah.
In fact, she's in a new drama this year. I think she's trying to win an Oscar.
Well, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that one about the woman that did forgeries.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you ever forgive me?
No.
That's
That's the next category.
the movie.
Next category is best accent. I think Lindsay's gonna have a good choice for this one.
Well, I think my choice is obvious. I went with Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, proud of her.
Which
I didn't know the rule.
yeah, the rule that we weren't going to pick Kate Beckinsale, like I said, she could have fit on almost any of this because she is actually very funny.
Right.
If you follow her on Instagram, she's hilarious. And yes, her accent is spot on spectacular.
And she's got this smoky voice,
Yep.
which is, I'm sure, a smoker's
Smoky,
voice.
yeah, smoker's voice.
But it's great.
well, you can hear it at the beginning of almost every one of our episodes. That actually is Kate Beckinsale talking, and we got to speak
I
to
thought
her.
that was
and-
Jake.
Yeah, it's Jake doing a very
I do a
good
great
convincing.
imitation.
Can I hear it now?
Do it now.
You hear it at the beginning of every episode.
Oh, do it at the beginning of the episode, Jacob.
And it was Kate Beckinsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Spot on. It's
Yeah.
like she's in the
It's
room.
the same
It's
thing.
like she's in the room.
I'm getting weary.
I actually would absolutely agree with that. I think her accent is amazing. It's very kind of proper, yet a little bit kind of Mischievous?
Did you guys watch that video with her on the hike? One of the listeners sent it in.
Yeah, with Kevin Nealon.
Yeah, but I noticed her voice like there. I'm like, man, she's out on a hike and still she is just like.
Well, he's like
working this voice. He's out of breath the whole time.
He does these walk and talks with celebrities, and he's like sweating and breathing heavy, and she's just walking by. I'm like, no big deal.
And it's funny too because she's quite crass as well in person. But when she says crass things, you're like, that's okay. You get a pass.
British accents get away with it more.
Yeah.
They do. I know.
Even though they used to be villains all the time.
It's weird.
You know what's better than a British accent?
Kate Beckinsale?
Yes. Actually, that's my answer, is Irish accents.
Okay.
Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan. I love listening to her speak.
I just, so great in every movie. Such a great actress. But that voice, when she is actually allowed to be Irish in movies.
Yeah.
Because then you see like the host.
Yeah.
And it's just no good.
Why did they do that?
I don't know.
You mean that movie or make her change her voice?
Her character could have been any.
The same reason they
From
made
any country.
Doctor Strange American.
He could have easily been British.
Could have been British. It should have been.
I think really they think American audiences are dumb. And in many ways, I think they're right.
They do
Actually,
pay a lot of money for Transformers.
Christian Bale, who's Welsh, he actually hides his accent in interviews because he doesn't want to confuse American
Is that
audiences.
what it is? Because I'm like, he doesn't even have an accent anymore.
He hides it all the time when he's doing
Really?
interviews.
So does he
Yeah.
actually have a real accent still?
I believe so.
Who knows?
I'll ask him when I talk to him tomorrow.
Oh, okay. But no, seriously, Saoirse Ronan, I could, like they say, I could listen to her read the phone book.
Saoirse Ronan from, you mentioned the host, but let's mention some of her good movies.
Atonement,
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn was great. Lady Bird.
Oh, Lady Bird as well.
in that one.
And she has an American accent in that one.
She does. But at the same time, every time she's on interviews, I really enjoy hearing her speak. That Irish accent is fantastic.
Good choice.
Now, I agree with British. I agree with Irish.
Yes.
But I've always had an affinity for Australian accents.
Oh, I like we got 3
Always.
different accents here.
Yeah.
This is great.
And so I chose Margot Robbie. Because Margot Robbie, the way she speaks, it's so playful and fun. There's a reason they had her explain very complicated financial topics on The Big Short.
She was in a hot tub, Joel.
It was a bathtub. And very bubbly bathtub.
Better.
Yeah.
But like it's funny because the movie, they actually have her come in to explain complicated mortgage things. And just hearing her talk, I was like, I'm enjoying her, just hearing her speak. And like in her interviews, she always seems very fun. Like in fact, when they made her Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad, I was kind of
She's
like,
got the Jersey accent.
Well, I thought she was going to do like a full-on Arlene Sorkin Batman animated series Harley Quinn, and she didn't. I was kind of disappointed because that's kind of how I picture Harley Quinn talking.
In what movies have you seen her actually use her Australian accent? Or is
it's just interviews? It's interviews because they really don't make her Australian in her movies, which is kind of weird.
Right.
But even in I, Tonya, I was like, she does a great American accent, but I still was like, I kind of wish she was Australian. But if you want to hear like About Time, I believe she has an Australian accent, maybe.
I think she's trying to be British or whatnot.
And,
Yeah.
and then she's also Flopsy the Rabbit and Peter Rabbit, which when I found that out, it's like Daisy Ridley and Margot Robbie and one other like famous person that's an animated rabbit in this movie. But she was hilarious as Flopsy the Rabbit even.
Yeah.
So I enjoy listening to Margot Robbie.
Did your research?
I did.
Oh, by the way, Saoirse
goodness.
Ronan
actually, hi, I'm Joel. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, exactly. Here's some Joel research. Saoirse Ronan actually means Freedom, Unity, Little Seal. Her full name, Freedom, Unity, Little Seal.
Is that better
Isn't that
than though,
adorable?
like the waves on the riverbank?
Riverbanks?
Yeah.
A little bit. I want to hear her say that.
All right. Next up, who's the choice where you do not understand the hype?
Oh, I'm afraid to answer this.
Then you
I'll
better go
first
first.
then.
Wait, what?
No,
I'll go
ahead,
first
go
because
ahead.
you're afraid. Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
You both picked it? Is that a match?
That's a match.
All right.
Joel?
Oh, I didn't match.
Okay.
So go on with Scarlett Johansson.
I had such a crush on her when I was like 22. I'm mid-2000s. She was it. She was everywhere. And then after time, I was just like, her voice is deeper than mine.
The dude who was just saying that Kate Beckinsale's smoky voice was
Yeah,
amazing.
but the smoky voice is amazing. But for some reason, Scarlett Johansson declined.
Agreed.
And there sometimes she's like gorgeous, like The Island. She's really, really pretty.
Oh
in.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Like Lindsay, you can jump in like with why you think she's overrated, but I don't think she actually smiles. I think she just shows her teeth.
And I'm sorry, can she close her mouth?
No.
Is that
she
possible?
can't. Right.
Things I didn't notice for 100, Alex.
It drives me
keeps
crazy.
her mouth open?
It's always open.
Yeah. She's a mouth breather
She's a
for
mouth
sure.
breather. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
that's gross.
Not okay.
Black Widow, it's just going to be...
You're supposed to keep us in line here, Lindsay. Not provoke it.
That's why I said I was scared.
Egging him on.
The Black Widow trailer will just be her mouth breathing the entire time. So, Joel, what do you have if it's not Scarlett? Scarjo, as they say.
I actually went a little retro on this one, and I chose Molly Ringwald. Because for a while
seems
there,
rude.
well, for a while there in the 80s,
can't remember who that is.
She was like the it girl in all the John Hughes movies.
Pretty
like you
in
got
Pink,
Pretty in Pink, 16 Candles,
Breakfast
Breakfast
Club.
Club.
Oh, right,
She was a
okay.
teen icon, and I've watched all those movies, and I keep thinking, Why?
Because she was the underdog. She was the relatable character.
Yeah.
No, not in Breakfast Club. She was the princess in Breakfast Club.
Yeah, but they already kind of set that up through the other John Hughes movies.
Well, I just feel like she was ranked number 1 on VH1's 100 Greatest Teen Stars, and she was just like everywhere in the movies in the 80s, and then she kind of went nowhere after. And I'm kind of like, I never understood why she was a
she was
star.
like the quirky, relatable,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
supposed
That's
to be
it.
like the hot
But I
one.
never
or
got
something.
that. Like the thing is, I just never kind of related to her. I always kind of found her annoying, and so
Judd Nelson, right? That was your character?
that was my character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I was. But yeah, well, and apparently Molly Ringwald turned down the female lead roles in both Pretty Woman and Ghost.
Really?
And those both went on to be huge successes
Yeah.
with their
Good job, Molly.
characters. So, and then Molly Ringwald, now she's on Riverdale. So good for her.
It's a job.
It's a job.
Don't judge.
She's making money.
Are you watching Supernatural right now, which is on the
So at
CW?
least she's not a
He's
mouth
too busy
breather.
watching Riverdale.
Well, at least she's not a mouth breather, kid.
Lindsay said the same thing.
I'm
We're
not
beat you
going
up
to
after
bash
this
on Lindsay.
show.
She's wearing a Baconsale shirt.
I'll be back.
All right, who's the most beautiful Bond girl? The top Bond girl.
I'll go first on this one because I feel like Kent and I are going to match. Maybe. But I wanted to pick... Okay, this is actually one where I'm going to give an honorable mention because I wanted to pick Jill Masterson from Goldfinger. But no one knows who she is. No one really...
She's so beautiful, though.
She's very, very beautiful. But I was like, if I bring that up, people are going to be like, who? So I actually chose Natalia Simonova from GoldenEye. All played by Isabella I can't say her name. Isabella
Scorupco.
Scorupco?
Yes.
Scorupco.
I can't believe you didn't go Jane Seymour.
You went James Seymour?
I went Isabella Scorupco.
Yeah, I knew we were gonna match because we both agree that GoldenEye is our favorite Bond movie.
Well, it was the first one I ever saw.
But I'm also surprised. Well, maybe you'll pick her later. But Famke Janssen was also in that movie.
Yeah, but she scares me.
She's scary in that movie.
Right.
I almost picked her, but I thought the same thing.
Right.
Little intimidating, little
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Not hot.
But
I mean, she does have the name
says a
Franca.
lot. Yeah.
so Isabella I can't say it. Scorupco.
Scorupco, yes.
She's a Polish-Swedish actress. She speaks Swedish, English, and French. And she actually went on to host the spring 2012 series of Sweden's Next Top Model.
But here's what's sad. We were talking about actresses that turned down like major roles. She turned down the Catherine Zeta-Jones role in The Mask of Zorro and also the Kim Basinger role in LA Confidential, which got her an Oscar.
Wow.
Isn't that so sad?
It is because
I mean, you never really know, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that she missed out on all this,
It's
and now you don't even know who she is.
Right.
You can't even pronounce her last name.
I was afraid to
can't.
pick her because I couldn't say her last name.
Is that true?
For real. I was looking at her and I went, no, I can't say her name.
And she's not even like the most like formal looking Bond girl
No.
or like, most stunning, but there's something just great about her.
Really beautiful.
Yes.
yeah, Lindsay, you're a Bond girl.
I'm probably going to get her name wrong because it's not really much easier. Olga Kurylenko from Quantum of Solace.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say she's attractive as well.
Really beautiful.
I think so too. Some other ones we had on here on the list. They said Ava Green, which I was surprised Kent didn't pick her actually a little bit.
Right.
And someone said Halle Berry as well. So
Yeah. All good picks.
yeah. Well, Halle Berry. Okay, so Halle Berry in one of the worst Bond roles ever is Jinx. That was
Yeah.
a terrible role.
Yeah.
And also Denise Richards, one of the probably the worst Bond girl ever.
That was really
Jones.
appropriate for
But-
Denise Richards, though. Let's be honest.
But Denise Richards is strikingly attractive.
She is very beautiful.
yes, but her acting and
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Everything else. Not Grace Jones at all.
She scares me.
That's all we need to say.
Okay. All right. Which of these ladies you have chosen is aging like a fine wine?
It sounds so creepy.
This is Kent.
Why did you write it like that, Kent?
I'm so
You
sorry.
could just say has aged well.
I got to go first because I totally missed the boat on this one too. Even writing it that way. Joel asked me a question today and he said, hey, is yours a little bit older? Is she maybe 60, 70 years old? Because that makes sense if it's
Oh, dear,
aging
what did
like
you
a fine
do?
wine. I put someone a little bit younger.
How much younger?
Mine's younger too, if that makes you
good.
feel better.
You guys are like, well, 25. She still had her age at 30. She looks the same, exactly the same.
Mine's 47.
I don't know mine's probably in her late 40s, early
Okay.
50s. So
I wonder if it's the same one. Jennifer Connelly.
no, but good choice.
Okay, thank you.
This is a
Because
good
I was
choice,
so
yeah.
scared.
No, she's
But-
beautiful.
But she's not old.
She's not old
not
at all.
old.
But the
Yeah.
reason I thought of her is because she's been in Hollywood forever.
Right.
And, as kids back in the 80s, like she was one of our first major crushes.
Yeah. Oh, Labyrinth.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yes. And then, it
Had
just
career opportunities.
continues. And even today, she almost looks better as she gets older.
I agree.
So I love her so much. But only 47, so maybe I cheated. But also, fun fact, Princess Jasmine was based on her appearance.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
Princess Jasmine. What?
You
Yeah.
can kind of see it with the eyebrows.
Right.
Yeah.
Not with the hair.
Have you heard about the Ariel thing, too?
I feel like you made
Ariel
this
is
up.
based off Alyssa Milano?
I've heard that.
Yes.
I've heard that. Yes. All right, Lindsay, who'd you pick?
I went Julia Roberts,
Okay.
who
Aged like a fine wine.
Well, I hadn't seen her in a while, and then Wonder came out, and I went, she's still so beautiful.
Did you watch Homecoming?
I have not yet. It's on my list.
Yeah, but that's a good choice as well. I went much older.
Sorry.
Which seems appropriate.
Can I
actually.
guess?
I thought, yeah.
Helen Mirren?
It's Helen Mirren.
I was
Yeah,
going to pick
it's a great pick.
Yeah.
So Helen Mirren, she's 73 years old, and she has this kind of regal beauty to her. It's like this kind of grace she has about her. I watched Winchester, which is a terrible horror movie.
Right.
But I still was like, I almost said Maggie Smith. No, not Judi Dench. What the heck is her name?
Maggie Smith.
Helen Mirren.
But Maggie Smith
really
has
jumping
always
around.
been about 79 years old.
Right?
Since like back in Hook when
Yeah.
she like got the old makeup on and never got it off.
No, that was real.
But Helen Mirren, she is one of those classical actresses that you're just like, wow, she's just poise and beauty. And then I remember seeing her in Red and thinking she's got a sense of humor as well. But she seems like one of those actresses, and maybe she has had some work done now, like recently. But she allows wrinkles and gray hair, and yet she still has that beauty. That's
classy still.
It comes
Yeah.
from.
No, if Helen Mirren asked me out tomorrow, I would go for sure.
She's stunning, and she's
Right?
not to. I don't know if I can say this, but she's got a body, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she's still really.
You can
fit.
say that. We can't
Oh.
say that. You can say
I was
that.
going to say, I'd take her to Texas Roadhouse.
I thought all of these girls had bodies, right?
She actually
what kind
has
of
a
show
body.
is this? I don't even know.
No, we're only ranking the headless.
I mean, there's
except for
pictures
the
of her in a bikini online, and she looks better than I do.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
Oh, here's another fun fact, by the way. She lived with actor Liam Neeson during the early 1980s.
Really?
Yeah,
Go
he's-
Liam.
We've all been there, right?
She's only 7 years older than him, actually.
Really?
Which is kind of weird to think about. But yeah, Helen Mirren. That's what I thought we were going with.
Sorry.
With Age Like
No,
a Fine Wine.
it's a great pick. I'm glad you went there because
Yeah.
we definitely went younger.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Julia Roberts is in the middle. I think
I was
she
just
makes
thinking
sense.
someone who's aging gracefully, isn't filling her face full of a bunch of crap, is
Right.
just allowing herself to get older but still retain her beauty.
Which that's the kind of the category in general. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, speaking of plastic surgery, which is the one you chose that they took, or they went one too many in these surgeries?
One too many plastic
This
surgeries.
feels mean.
It does feel mean, but at the same time, it's something that we all acknowledge that there's these
It's
actors
sad.
and actresses
Yeah.
both do it, but it's this thing where you can tell their face gets more and more stretched, and it's like, what? Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you age gracefully? But
Yeah.
and they just feel so self-conscious they do it, but then it just backfires.
It almost takes on a feline quality. Have
Right.
you noticed
Yes.
the way
Yeah.
the face is stretched?
Yeah.
It's-
Because it's pulled back a little
Yeah.
bit. And
It's Pete Burns all over again. That are a live reference.
I went. This feels mean. I went really cliche, though, not just to not stay too mean. Everyone knows this. Meg Ryan.
You guys agree?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the quietest high five that's ever
It really
happened on
was.
the
It was like a
show.
sad
The
high
listener
five.
doesn't even know that happened.
I agree with you, buddy.
Sad one for Meg Ryan.
It's also fun fact. She has size 11 feet. I'm just saying.
Really?
Yeah.
So
What?
did Audrey Hepburn.
Oh, really? Something about size 11. But Meg Ryan back in the late 80s, early 90s, you could not do better.
Perfect.
She was the it girl.
Yeah.
She was like a girl next door. She was
Yes.
the cute friend.
Right. And then that continued on through the mid 90s. And then you could kind of tell late 90s, like You've Got Mail, like something's going on there. And then she just disappeared. And mostly because maybe no one would hire her at that
Maybe.
point. Like she married Russell Crowe.
Did she?
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah,
Remember, like early 2000s. She
remember that.
divorced Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were married for like 4 or 5 years. But you look at her now, and it's so sad. In fact, she came out with a movie about 4 or 5 years ago, The Women. And I was like, I hope this is a good role for her. Like, I would love to see her have a comeback.
I would too.
But it's also kind of hard with the face. Is that too far?
Well,
that too far,
Courtney
Lindsay?
Cox did something
Right.
very similar,
Right.
but
Courtney
she's had
Cox.
some of hers undone.
Oh, can you
which
do
I
that,
didn't know was a
actually?
thing.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
she looks a lot better. So maybe Meg.
No, that's just
could
it. Is like I
kinda-
remember Courtney Cox, obviously Friends, but also Ace Ventura. I thought she was absolutely adorable.
She's stunning.
And then as she got into Cougar Town, I was like, she's had some work done, and it's not working. But she's had it reversed. You said?
Yeah, I guess she had all the fillers taken out, and she looks a lot more like herself again. So maybe
Okay.
Meg could do something similar, and because I would love to see her come back.
Right.
So I hate being. I feel like it's mean.
It's awful. I
This is a mean category.
It's a mean category. But we had the same in the guys. We had kind of the hasn't aged well, and we went pretty brutal on that. I believe you bashed on
Sandpaper
Robert.
face, Robert Redford.
No.
Well, I said Hugh Grant looked like you melted. So.
Yeah, I remember that. But I decided to go with someone who actually openly has admitted to plastic surgery, and because a lot of people will deny it, but a lot of people, like, she says I've done it. She says I've done it a dozen times, and she said, in fact, This is kind of a family friendly, I guess. So watch out. She says, and if I want to put my breasts on my back, they're mine to do so. Like she wants to do whatever she wants.
Okay.
And it's share. So
I think she did have that surgery, right?
she probably did.
Actually.
But she's actually 72. That's a year younger than Helen Mirren. But she looks like she's wearing a Cher mask.
She does.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point, like I remember.
And she was in Mask, which is funny enough. Right.
But I remember when she did Believe back in the late 90s. And it was such a soft focus music video. Like she was basically just blurred out that I was like, wow, she must be getting old. And here she is like years later and it's gotten worse. Like she's practically the face of Bo.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Doctor Who reference. But she says that she's had plenty of work done. She admits it openly. And she's actually, journalists have called her the poster girl of plastic surgery. And I just look at it and I'm like,
more like the warning, right?
I try to figure out which is more
a cautionary tale.
I try to figure out which has had more work done, her voice or her face.
Right.
Because when she auto-tunes all her songs too, I'm like,
Yeah.
Auto-tuned her face.
Yeah.
Actually, she was in Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again.
Right.
Yep.
And she plays Meryl Streep's mother. She's 3 years Meryl Streep senior.
Yeah.
But because they put like overalls on Meryl Streep, it's fine. Yeah.
That's bizarre.
She's young.
Oh, a couple other ones from the people that voted in. Dolly Parton was one, and then Renee Zellweger also.
See, okay, Renee.
Okay. We
I
gotta talk
have an
about
issue
this.
with Renee because she was beautiful before. She's still beautiful. She just doesn't look like herself
Right.
anymore.
The same with Jennifer Grey. If you remember Jennifer
Yes.
Grey from Dirty Dancing and Ferris Bueller.
Totally different face
She
now.
changed her nose, and she looks completely different,
Yeah.
and that cost her, I think, a lot of acting jobs because she's not herself.
So, Lindsay, did you see Bridget Jones' Baby?
Yes.
And she looks fine in that movie, but you're just like, this is a different...
Is that the third one?
It's
Yeah.
the third one. It's
I
like,
like that you bring that up at all.
well, just because that was a transition. She did the first two back when she was Renee Zellweger. And all of a sudden, it's like she's a different actress.
Yeah, it's weird.
And she's still good. She's still
Yeah.
really funny. But then, who is that?
Yeah, it just seemed like a really strange thing to do because her eyes were very
Kinda pulled.
Yeah, but they
Right.
were and
They used to
that
be
was kind of a
scrunchy.
defining
you get the
characteristic of
scrunchy
her
eyes, yeah.
face.
Yes.
And to change something that iconic about your face is kind of a weird thing to do when your face
when that's your
is
job.
your job. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel bad for her.
I do too.
Yeah.
I feel bad for us.
Well, it kind of goes back to the Shania Twain thing. If someone tells you your face is perfect and you start to get older, I think it would freak you out and you
Right.
would
And
start
that's-
making bad
Yeah.
decisions.
Because you want
That's
to
one
be
thing-
immortal in Hollywood, of course.
That's just it. Is that I don't, as us sitting here in the Bacon Cave, don't really understand maybe the pressures
Yeah.
of people whose
There
money
has to be a lot of
on their
panic.
face.
There
There's
has to
actually a Botox little session over there. We
Is that
can
what
get some
that is?
Botox.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet.
Just needles that poke in your face.
Why would you put that in here?
It's for me.
Kent wasn't using his
useful.
face.
That explains so much.
Next up is going to be the most attractive animated character. I cannot wait to hear what you
Lindsay,
say.
will you
Honestly,
please go
This
first
is-
on this one?
Kind of did a whole show about this when we ranked Disney princesses.
Oh, yeah.
So I went Disney princess because
It's fine.
I was afraid of falling too far down the creepy rabbit hole with
There's
this one.
definitely a creepy rabbit.
You mean
hole.
Lola?
Creepy Jessica Rabbit.
Yeah. So I went Belle because I wanted to be her. She had the library and the talking furniture and
Now, yellow
And
dress
Stockholm
Belle or
Syndrome.
blue dress Belle?
blue dress Belle.
Blue dress Belle. That seems to be what people like to go to. The ballroom gown is not as popular.
I mean, it's beautiful, but I just want
It's
the
not
library.
practical.
Really,
You can't work in an office wearing that.
No.
Bill throws me off because at one point when she's with her father and something explodes down in the basement, they peek their heads over this wall and her neck is like 3 feet long. And I've never been able to unsee that. Like it's like
a Nala neck?
extendable neck. Yes, it's a Nala neck. And mine is Nala.
No, it is not. It's not Nala.
So most of my characters are.
I peg you as a Jessica Rabbit guy.
I wanted to say Jessica Rabbit, but I didn't want to be a creep.
But that's the thing is they deliberately animated her to be attractive.
It's just when they're playing patty cake, like you feel dirty and you're a kid and you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, rewind it. I don't even know why, but rewind it.
My wife absolutely
I have these
hates-
feelings.
My wife absolutely hates Roger Rabbit because of Jessica Rabbit.
Right. It's just too
Yeah,
much.
it is way too much.
Incredibly objectifying.
But I went with another redhead. I went with Ariel.
She was my alternate.
Okay.
Isn't she 16?
That's why she was my alternate. It's like it's a
So,
little creepy.
You're the guy who picked Babs Bunny on an earlier show for most attractive cartoon.
It was Lola Bunny from Space
It
Jam.
was Babs Bunny.
I'm more of a Lola fan.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I think I've got a rabbit thing.
It's
We've actually been meaning to tell you, Kit.
Lindsay, are you okay?
Spit her Dr.
Diet
Pepper,
Dr.
over
Pepper
everything.
on the table.
Yeah, she's good.
But it's Ariel. Even though she's part fish and she's 16,
And her bangs are the size of Belle's neck.
But it's actually it's her hair.
like swoopy giant
Yeah.
bangs.
Her hair is actually like gorgeous.
It is.
Like even when the waves are cresting over it, like Ariel is the most attractive Disney princess. I'm going to stop there. Joel, please go.
Okay. I actually chose someone of age. It's Daphne from Scooby-Doo. So
Of age, they were high schoolers.
No, she's like, I was going to say, she's like
You don't
20s.
know this.
I'm leaning high school.
schooler.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't hurt that
You
Sarah
think
Michelle
she's a
Gellar
junior or a senior in high school,
in
Joel?
college.
I think
She's in
junior.
college.
Yeah.
There's no way that
Junior in high school?
kids
Yes.
don't have that kind of budget to run around solving mysteries.
You think
They're college
Shaggy's in
kids.
his 20s? He was
Yes.
definitely like 17.
Shaggy is perpetually in his 20s. But here's the other thing about it is, obviously it didn't. I wanted to do Belle, but we talked about her so much in the Disney Princess show. I wanted to go somewhere else, and so I went to Daphne because, and like I said, Sarah Michelle Gellar played her in the live action version, but she's
16 years old. Daphne is
Womp
16
womp.
years old.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Everything's even
I
now.
think I picked the oldest girl then.
Yeah, you did. You win.
This
You're
was-
the least creepy.
I'm so glad I don't make choices on this show.
I've got a rabbit thing. Joel, take this
I've got a Rick
16-year-old.
Moranis.
You
thing.
did
It's
too!
fine.
On accident.
No, I'm going with Sarah Michelle Gellar. This is my way of shoehorning Sarah Michelle Gellar in here, even though she's animated. But
Yeah, that's cheating.
yeah, it is cheating, and I knew that. But Daphne was one of those that people thought
Poor
that,
Velma.
But people thought Velma was attractive too, and in fact, when Linda Cardellini was playing her in the movie, I was definitely attracted to Velma.
Yes.
But Daphne, I always thought she was pretty. Like
Right.
when I was watching Scooby Doo as a kid, I always thought Daphne was pretty, and her purple dress with like her pink stockings and like her green hair thing. Like I don't really know if that matches, but it worked.
It doesn't, but it worked.
Joel, you'll get to see a Supernatural episode in the future where they're in
Yes.
Scooby Doo, and
Yeah.
Dean walks in. He's like, "Dibs on Daphne."
Of course.
I love that episode.
It is a good one. All right, next up, you want to hate them, but you just can't.
I'll start this one because we've talked about her before already on this show. It's Julia Roberts. Like Julia Roberts is one of those people that I don't really like any of her movies. Like,
None.
You don't like any?
Wow.
I shouldn't say I shouldn't say that. I like some of her movies. I don't really love any of her movies. Like I love Ocean's 11, not because of Julia Roberts. And in fact, Ocean's 12, she's the worst part of Ocean's 12.
She is.
That whole. She looks like Julia Roberts, but she is Julia Roberts.
Do you like Pretty Woman?
Yeah.
Not really. It's fine. And then Hook, I love Hook, but I do not like Julia Roberts in Hook. I do not
Did you
like
know the cast also didn't like Julia Roberts in Hook?
Oh, is that
She was
true?
fairly notorious. In fact, her character Tinkerbell was known as Tinker Hell
Oh,
behind the
slam.
scenes. So she's notoriously difficult to work with.
Well, here's the thing. So it's like has her just Pretty Woman grossed $464 million worldwide, made her a star overnight. She's won an Academy Award. Her films have collectively brought box office receipts of over $2.8 billion. She's one of the highest paid actresses in the world throughout most of the 90s and the first half of the 2000s. And she's been named the world's most beautiful person by People a record 5 times. I want to hate her. But every single time I see her in an interview, I'm like, she is so nice and funny.
Yeah.
And I love her. And then I'm like, no, you don't, Joel. And I'm like, yes, but she's very nice. And so it
I
goes
like
back
that
and
the
forth.
angel and devil on your shoulder are talking about Julia Roberts.
That's what they do. So yeah, Julia Roberts is my pick. I want to hate her, but I can't because she's just so likable.
So another Ocean's actress, although from the new Anne Hathaway.
What was that? Yeah.
that was my review of the new Ocean's movie.
Just give
She
in.
was actually fine in that
Yeah,
movie.
she actually was.
No,
She was the best part of that movie.
She was.
I
Yeah.
would agree. But
And she's someone, for some reason, I see her and I don't want to like her, and yet everything she does makes me like her.
Right.
It's a weird.
when she was Fantine, I was like, I don't want to see Anne Hathaway
I
as
was the
Fantine.
same way.
And then I saw the movie and I went, she's fantastic
yeah,
in this
and
role.
she killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does
And then she
like very
died.
few things now, it seems.
But I don't get the hatred towards her. Like a lot of people say that, like it's one of those jokes, like, oh yeah, we hate Anne Hathaway, and I'm like, well, why? Like she's nice.
Well, I mean, there was the Oscar thing, but I think she was hated before that.
Yeah.
Also, people didn't like her being cast as Catwoman in Nolan's trilogy.
she was weak in that.
Yes.
I actually liked her. I thought she was fine.
Yeah, but you like everything Nolan does.
Of course I do. But she's like half mouth, half eyes. Like there's no room on her face
Yeah.
for a nose.
I think it's something to do with her facial characteristics that make
She
people
has, like,
dislike
those-
her.
like she
She
looks
has-
snobby, and
she has like
started out as,
anime eyes, like they're these really
She does.
unrealistically large eyes.
And I think people really retaliated against like her character change because she was like princesses for like the first
She did
5-6 years.
It was a really harsh transition.
and then she went straight
Yeah.
rated R, and
Yeah.
then she tried to find a balance after that.
yeah.
So people would, they're like, "Who are you trying to target to?" I don't know.
So that's a good choice, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Kent, what's your choice for want to hate but can't?
Everyone hates her, but please
Chris?
stop. Megan Fox.
So
Silence fills the room.
well, no. Here's the thing. I have not seen a movie that I've liked her in.
Agreed.
Yes, but everyone gives her a hard time. They're like, oh, she's some floozy and look at her looks and that's all she cares about. But this...
Yeah, what's your
What are we
defense?
doing on this show?
I want to hear this defense.
I truly believe she's a good woman because if you're Megan Fox, you could have any guy in the world. She chose Brian Austin Green.
Dude, he was 90210.
25 to 30 years ago. She has 2 kids with him, has stayed married to him.
So back when Michael Douglas became a senior citizen.
Oh, so sad. But Megan Fox, she's like a faithful woman with integrity, and sure, she looks shiny and kind of plasticky at this point.
She
but
has had some work done, which was unfortunate because she was beautiful before that.
Didn't need it.
Yeah, but I feel like she's still beautiful. Also, the fact that she loves Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, and How to Train Your Dragon.
Things I did not
Crushing.
know. Kind of starting to like her a
Totally
little more.
crushing.
Yeah.
Also, I have a lot of sympathy for people that were bullied when they were younger, and she has ADHD and OCD. And so, yeah, she was totally bullied and then became Megan Fox leaning over the hood of that car. Like, that's all you need. And also,
That's all you need right there.
That's her transcendent moment.
It is.
Is that leaning over the hood of a car?
I hate that she was
not-
bullied. I like it when she's objectified.
Was that not her introduction to film?
Oh my gosh.
When everyone noticed who Megan Fox was.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're not saying that's the reason you like her.
No, of course not.
You brought up legitimate reasons to like her.
Yes.
So the transcendent moment probably shouldn't be
Okay, the
when she's
introductory
leaning over the hood
moments.
of a car.
No, I'm
That's
saying
all.
she went from like this bullied geek to like, hey, everyone in the world is looking at me right now, and you guys just bullied me. See, there's a good message
Let me back
there.
you up a little bit here
Yes.
because I actually read an interview from her several months ago
Right.
and was really impressed by how articulate she was
Yeah.
and how kind.
No,
actually.
I do think she's one of the people that gets a bad rep because she's beautiful. People are like automatically
Yeah.
putting perceptions on her.
And I feel bad for her because her type, there's probably only certain movies that she can go for. She's
That's
not
what I
the
was
best
gonna say.
actress.
Yeah. Well, and the roles she picks are all similar.
Right.
Usually the really sexy, beautiful woman.
Well, and remember, like,
She always beats me on those roles. It's like,
she bagged
I
on
don't get
Michael
it.
Bay.
I
when-
audition, she gets it.
Like, no one would dare to bag on Michael Bay because he's a total,
Yeah.
Everyone knows. And she did and kind of lost her career for a little bit and kind of almost had to come groveling back because she just couldn't get hired.
Right.
I mean, she has Jennifer's Body, which is like a cult classic now, which is kind of weird. But you just don't see her in things unless it's Ninja Turtles movie.
Wasn't she a New Girl?
Oh, yeah, she was actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty fantastic. But also, she was banned from Walmart for stealing makeup at the age of 15.
Really?
Yes.
How do you get banned from Walmart?
I know, seriously. You have to do something pretty big. But stealing makeup, apparently.
They're like, we know your face, makeup girl. We know you at all the Walmarts. You can't hide from us.
All the Walmarts.
All right, next up, the best smile. It's a sweet category.
I love this category.
Yeah.
My Google history is kind of crazy because I was just Googling like best smile
We know.
celebrities.
And that was and that was before you were doing research.
Indeed. Miranda Kerr.
Miranda Kerr.
Victoria's Secret model.
Yeah,
Miranda
yeah.
Kerr. She was married to Orlando Bloom as well.
Yeah.
She's 35 years old. Rose to prominence in 2007. Is now one of the top earning models in the world. She has a skincare line, a self-help book. And like she's really taken just her early fame and just gone places with it. I'll pull up a picture for you guys, but her smile, like her dimples are perfect.
She's beautiful.
She is beautiful.
I just pulled her up. Those are crazy dimples.
Right? And generally, these models don't smile, but that smile is irresistible.
I'd kind of forgotten about her, but she is. You're right.
Because she's
Good
35.
choice.
She's a little bit older
Yeah.
for Victoria's
That's,
Secret
it's
model.
funny to me. You went like non-traditional on this. You went with a model instead of an actress.
I know.
So way to be hipster.
Way to pick a model for something that's like the peak.
Bravo, sir. Your
Thank
charitable
you.
work is applauded.
I'm a brave man.
I'll go next. I chose Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Cute.
I tell you what, whenever she smiles, her whole face lights
Yep.
up, and like she's smiling in her eyes, like she's just one of those wonderful smiles. I'm specifically thinking of Can't Hardly Wait.
Yeah.
like whenever she smiles at Ethan Embry, I'm
Not
just
Ghost
like,
Whisperer?
No, not Ghost
Okay.
Whisperer. Well, that's the other thing. She has not had a very good career.
Pretty
hasn't.
sad.
Yeah.
She's had steady work, but nothing has been like acclaimed. In fact, I think her probably best work was in the music video for Enrique Iglesias' "Hero." But I want to bring this up because this is just one of those facts that I think is fun. Like we talked about actually on the last show, we talked about how she was in Kids Incorporated.
Yes.
and was backup singers on Martika's "Toy Soldiers" song.
Yep. Which you voted
But
out.
In 2002, a conspiracy theorist and former social worker, Diana Napolis, was arrested for stalking and uttering death threats against Hewitt.
What? Yeah.
Napolis accused Hewitt, along with director Steven Spielberg, so she thought both of them, were controlling her thoughts through cybertronic technology and being part of a satanic conspiracy against her.
Oh, a satanic conspiracy. It wasn't weird enough.
Apparently, they got in a verbal argument at an award show and was like yelling at Jennifer Love Hewitt's mother, and like shoved her, I think, or something like that.
Jeez.
But she's still out there today. Like she got convicted, but then didn't. Like she got arrested, but then didn't get put in jail. So
That's
she's
scary.
Creepy, yeah.
Can
Kinda
you
creepy.
imagine any actress less likely to be
I know.
satanic. Like,
I
she's
know,
just
right?
this-
It's adorable.
But it's always the ones that you trust,
That's
right?
true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Show your dark side, J-Love. Can we call it J-Love? Is that what it is?
Sure.
J-Love,
Sure.
J-Love Hewitt.
J-Love Hugh.
J-Love Hugh.
J. Hugh?
Yeah, you can't do J-Lo, so it has to be J-Love Hugh.
I had Natalie Portman.
Awesome. Yep.
Yeah, she's just
Yeah,
got
that's a good
such
choice.
Just a
great
really nice smile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those warm, comforting smiles. Chicken soup of smiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I like that one. And Natalie Portman's one of those that I've always found strikingly attractive, and I like her, but I really don't like anything she's been in.
And how could you say that? She's in so many good movies.
Yeah.
She's terrible in Star Wars.
Oh,
No, you can't blame her for that.
my gosh.
I can blame her a little bit for that. It's a little
You
wooden.
can't blame her.
I can blame
No, you
her,
can't.
and I do.
That's mean.
But yeah, I really haven't found her like in any roles that I've enjoyed, but I still like
The
her.
Professional. Most recently, we have Annihilation.
She's like 12 in that
No,
one.
no,
kid.
like Mars Attacks. That's where she's like 12. Who's your choice, friends, for the coolest friend?
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell.
I
She
love
probably is
her.
cool. Yeah.
Have you always felt this way, like back in Veronica Mars days, or is this The Good Place? Is that what
Or
changed
is it
your
just
mind?
you want to hang out with Anna?
No, Kristen Bell. She seemed, cool in Veronica Mars time.
Yeah,
I think,
I've
don't you
never
think?
not liked Kristen Bell,
Yeah.
but
Right. So-
I definitely love The Good Place, and so that's probably.
I was watching
It
that
definitely
today,
helps.
actually.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
So
a funny
good.
story about Kristen Bell. She actually hates like pruny fingers.
I do too.
Like she hates them. Like she has
They
a phobia
freak
against
me
them.
out.
And she has a kid, and she was in a pool one time, and she kind of like the kid was not in trouble, but kind of might have been in trouble. And she went to reach for him and then pulled back when she realized the kid had pruny fingers. And she thought, I can't do this. I have to save my child. I have to be able to. So she actually wears gloves whenever she goes swimming.
What about you,
Wow.
Lindsay? Do you wear gloves?
I don't, but I think I might have to now.
Yeah.
What about when you take a bath or you're in a pool for too long?
I keep
Like,
my
what do you do?
hands out as much as I can.
You don't touch anywhere else. You're just like,
I just don't like my hands to get all pruny. It's really disgusting to me. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
You know,
You
she's
and
a good
Kristen
choice
Bell.
for like you should hate but you can't, because she's so self confident too. Like in Good Place, she even plays on it. She's like, I'm so charming and adorable. You can't resist me,
That's
can
true.
you? Yeah, like that's.
But
what-
you still
that's her
do. You
shtick.
still like
But
her.
you still do. Yeah, it's a miracle.
all right, I'm going to go next. A coolest friend for me would be Emilia Clarke from Game of Thrones, plays Daenerys, Mother of Dragons. Every single interview I see her in, she is like adorable.
Yeah.
And
She's so
genuinely
much- she's
just
so happy.
She's happy. She's
You don't see her
giggling
that in
and
Game of
everything.
Thrones. She's always angry in Game of Thrones.
Right. She just wants to kill everybody.
Yeah, I'd be scared to hang out with her. Right?
No, but seriously, she is probably like 4'3"
Yeah, she's
in real
tiny.
life. And I just think keeping this pint-sized little puppy around would just she would be
she's a puppy.
the best buddy. Like
At least she's
she-
not a bunny.
That's true.
if she were though. But no, like she would laugh at every single one of my jokes. And we would just, like we'd have all these inside jokes as well. And I just think she would brighten up every single room she would go into.
You've really thought about this a lot.
Well, I just think we'd be
Yeah.
best friends, Emilia.
Okay.
But no, I actually thought it was cool because before she got the role of Daenerys, she, typical actress, she had like 3 to 6 jobs at a time. It's like call center, server, bartending. I mean, just typical story. And then all of a sudden, Game of Thrones to the point where she gets, I think, well over $2 million an episode. Now,
Wow.
Which
Good
is
for
making
her.
a month.
awesome. Yeah. It's more than you make in a month?
Yeah.
Slightly?
Slightly.
Yeah.
I actually chose Emma Stone.
Okay.
Oh, she was my next.
Because Emma Stone is one of those people that every time I see her in interviews, I'm like, she seems so down to earth
She's
and
so
so
cute.
cool. And then also I found this out that she enjoys theater. She was in Princess and the Pea, Alice Adventures in Wonderland, Joseph's Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. She also did improv comedy, and I was like, I'm so relating to her.
She seems like she would be really good at improv.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she is. Like you see her in these movies, and you know that some of it's just her being her.
Yeah.
But then also she's able to pull off serious acting chops, like in La La Land. You get that amazing "Here's to the Ones Who Dream" performance.
There you go.
But also, I just like this that she refuses, and most of the time, to speak about her private life. She wants to keep her normal. She wants to live a normal life as possible. And in fact, she says, I am blessed with a great family and great people around me that would be able to kick me in the shins if I ever for 1 minute got lost up in the clouds. I've been really lucky in that sense.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
She,
it is.
she brings her brother to the award shows and things like that. I just think Emma Stone would be
She's
cool
trying to
hanging
keep me
with.
secret. That's
Is
what's
she?
going on. Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah. Thanks, Emma.
I knew it.
All right, next category is going to be the quote hottest athlete.
So Kent and I, our strong point is obviously sports.
Oh, mine too, guys.
Yeah,
Okay, good.
That's why we brought you on, because of
Yeah.
your sports knowledge. So I'm intrigued to see who you guys picked.
Yeah, what tennis player did you choose, Cam?
So it would be like really cliche if I said Anna Kournikova right now.
Then I'll just say it. I'll say it. I picked Anna Kournikova because it was the first one that came to mind. And I remember she was really, really big back in late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, a million years ago.
I know, but at the same time, Anna Kournikova was the most attractive athlete. Like that, she wasn't famous because of her tennis skills. She was famous because she was a very beautiful Russian tennis player. And it's funny to me that was basically her career. Was she wasn't that good at what she did, but everyone really loved her. At peak of her fame, fans looking for images of Kournikova made her name one of the most common search strings on Google search. Like that, she was one of the most searched people out there. By the way, she retired from tennis at the age of 21 due to serious back and spinal problems, including a herniated disc.
Jeez.
Well, plus she got together with Enrique Iglesias, and that kind of set her for life.
So is she together with him though?
Is she not?
What
does that mean?
No, here's the weird thing about it.
Is there a conspiracy?
She has consistently
Did he run
refused
away?
to directly confirm or deny the status of her personal relationship. In fact, some of her relationships, like one guy said, I was married to her from 2001 to 2003, and then because no one knew that they were married, and then she came out and actually said, no, that never happened. But then it may have because someone knew that the guy was married, but he didn't know to whom. Then Enrique Iglesias, they were married, and then apparently they separated after in 2009, but then they reconciled, but then they might be off again. Like, it's really weird, their relationship here, how they don't confirm anything out there.
I'll have to ask Enrique later.
Yeah, when you talk to him. Yeah. So yeah, Anna Kournikova, I went cliche.
All right, I had to Google these
Me too.
these athletes, and there was a huge list, and they're all just recent ones because that's what I want to go
I
for.
really want to see
Yeah.
your Google history. Like your search history.
No, you don't.
I just can't wait to see what ads I get now.
Yeah,
I
no
know.
joke.
Yeah, I'm going to get some great stuff.
So I went with a snowboarder, so I hope that counts.
yeah.
Her name is Silje Norendal.
So
She is
we never heard of her.
right.
basically.
Never heard of her. Born
Okay.
1993.
How do you spell that?
Silje. So that's the first name. Maybe it's Silje. And Norendal. Norendal.
Googling
She's
now.
a Norwegian snowboarder. Also a Nazi poster child.
Wait, what?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, look at her.
Super Aryan.
This is probably the one blonde I have on the list. Maybe one of two.
She's cute.
She is adorable.
Stunning.
And so because I found her on a Google search of hottest athletes,
That's your pick.
that's my pick.
What's her name again?
Silje Norendal.
There you go. And Lindsay?
I also had to do extensive Googling.
Indeed.
Maybe not quite as much as I did for the male athletes.
Or as much as Kent.
You're like, I'm good. I got this.
But I picked a soccer player again.
Nice.
Because female soccer players also fairly gorgeous.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
Alex Morgan. She
Oh,
plays
yeah,
for
good
the
pick.
Orlando Pride. Beautiful.
Wait, Alex Morgan? Mm-hmm. Alex Regan.
Do you like how we are totally Googling during the show now? Because
Well, I don't know who these
a
people
thing.
are because I don't do sports. Oh, yeah, she's pretty too.
very pretty.
She's a brunette. I don't know what she plays for. U.S. soccer team?
Orlando Pride.
Oh, there you
Looks
go.
like blue eyes, Joel.
Yeah.
I think.
Apparently I have a
fan.
type too.
Yeah, there you go.
By the way, other people wrote in for hottest athlete, Danica Patrick, which I agree with that
Great.
one.
Yeah.
And then Bethany Hamilton, if you remember. She was the one who got her arm bit off by the shark, the surfer.
Oh.
She's really
yeah.
pretty as well.
All right, who's the one you would say is unconventionally attractive?
This category seemed to throw a lot of people when I talked to
It
them about
threw
it. They're
me.
like, what does that
For
mean?
sure.
Unconventional. What does that mean? So I'll go first because I had a concept of it when I
Just
got
means
there.
not classically, right?
Yeah, it's just like
attractive, but
you're going to pull a room. Maybe not all of them would think they're attractive, but you do. I chose Gillian Anderson from the X-Files. I think Agent Dana Scully is one of those that I just had a huge crush on.
Throughout, like season 1 and
No,
everything?
that's the thing is like, and they wanted, like the producers wanted like kind of this.
she's like the female Keanu Reeves.
A little bit.
Oh,
I
She
can
pulls
see
like
that.
these blank faces sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, and here's a pop quiz for you guys. Do you know what nationality she is?
Eee.
Is she American or is she British?
no, she's English. isn't
European.
She's American.
She's definitely British. Yeah.
No, she plays British in a lot of roles, but she's American.
She lives over there.
She's both.
oh,
So
okay.
she
Trick questions by Joel.
She was born in London, then they moved to Puerto Rico, and then to London, and then they moved to Michigan, but they'd have a summer home in London. She went back and forth and spent summers there, and she can easily switch back and forth between British and English accents. Like that's who she is. Also, apparently, she went through a really rebellious phase and would like dye her hair, shave her sides of her head, had a nose piercing, an all black wardrobe,
Joined the cast of
experimented with
X-Files.
drugs, cultivated like she dated a much older boyfriend. Like this was kind of who she was when she was an early teen.
Doesn't that just kind of seem like your aunt? But she has like a really antish look.
But does that seem like
Wearing
Dana
pantsuits?
Scully? Does that seem like Scully's going to be doing all that? Also, she was nominated by her classmates as class clown, most bizarre girl, and most likely to be arrested.
Wow.
So, but that's
Not
the thing is,
abducted, huh?
when they were casting for the X-Files,
Okay.
they had Mulder, Fox Mulder, as you know him, Lindsay. But X-Files, they wanted to have like kind of this sexy type character to go alongside Mulder, and Chris Carter pushed for Gillian Anderson, and they were like, no, we don't want her. And he's like, no, she is Dana Scully, and then she became Dana Scully, and I think she's so beautiful. Like even today, you see her and things, you're like, wow.
I think
Dana
she looks
Scully's
better now
Yeah?
than she did at the
I
start
agree.
of X-Files.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say she definitely, with the progression of X-Files, she definitely came into her own there.
Yeah.
Right.
But I kind of wanted to be her.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh
of course.
man, I loved her. I actually cut all my hair off and dyed it red.
She wasn't
What?
bald.
Are there pictures of this?
So I cut it. It was really long. I cut
okay.
it short and dyed it red, and I just didn't quite pull it off.
you
Was
wear
this
the
for
pantsuits?
cosplay or just for
no,
real?
this was just like in high school. I thought I'm going to be Dana Scully now.
Nice.
Were you bullied?
No, I wasn't. I was a band
It's
geek
cool.
though.
No,
so I
no one's
probably
going to
should've
bully a redhead wearing a pantsuit with an FBI badge.
been- wear the pants.
And an FBI badge. All right, Lindsay, what's your pick?
I went with Kristen Ritter, Jessica
Okay.
Jones.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Jessica Jones, Jane from Breaking Bad.
Yeah,
yeah.
not
The bee in Apartment 23.
exactly, not typically classically beautiful, but I think
That's
something
a good
about
choice.
her is really pretty.
Because she is one of those that you don't really think of in this category, but she's definitely attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Like really dark hair, dark features, but she's really pasty as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
She looks like Wednesday Addams.
Yeah,
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
All right, I went. This one I really struggle with because I picked someone who's stunningly beautiful.
That's not the category.
Butterface.
The category is no,
Joel,
not,
here we go. Butterface?
It's not a
Hold
butterface
on.
category either, Kent. How dare you, sir? We
face-
were not going to bring up that term on this show. How dare you?
Let me finish. Butterface. It's a little broken.
What? Whoa. Lindsay, can you say this? Is this
I don't know. I
okay?
got to see who this is.
Natalie Dormer from Game of Thrones.
You know what? I actually considered her.
She is.
But then she thought about how her face is broken.
I think she is one of the most beautiful women out there.
Yeah, there is something going on.
It's
What
Natalie
is that?
Dormer from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but in the Tudors, people mock me. They're like, "Have you seen her mouth? Because it's a very asymmetrical mouth."
well, the way she smiles is kind of that crooked smile. Well, it's cute.
But a lot of people they think she kind of looks like a rodent and whatever. But I am in love with her.
Show.
Like, come on, other people say this.
Yeah.
No, but I love her look, and she is maybe not the weirdest looking, and that's why I feel like I'm kind of cheating because I feel like she's stunningly beautiful. But
it's
also,
an
I've been mocked for
unconventional
liking her
beauty.
so much.
Yeah, no, this makes sense, Ken.
Yeah. So yeah.
We validate your choice.
Thank
I don't
you
know if
very
her face
much.
is broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might have
That
gone
might have
too
been a
far.
little
I think your
harsh.
chances with her might have gone down at that point.
That was Joel.
before
No,
you
that wasn't.
before you
No.
confessed your love. Your
Lindsay,
face is
come on.
broken. Also, I love you.
You get me?
She's over there.
Is this how the dates go too?
Is she British?
Yeah, she's British.
So yeah, I could over there being like, well, he did say my face was broken and I looked like a rodent, but I tell you what,
They have
I'll give him a shot.
A dry sense of
He
humor.
said
She'd
he
be totally
loves me
fine with
like
that.
3 times. He loves broken
I
rodent
love your
faced
broken
women.
rodent face.
Guys, you know this is how I compliment, okay?
There's caveats, and then
let's
there's
work
like
on this,
dark
Ken.
Things
side.
don't go past the second date. Let's just say that.
All right, I think there's a good transition here. We're going to go to attractive looks, but unattractive personality.
All right, I'm going to go first. Rihanna.
Okay.
I was going to pick Fiona Apple because back in the day I was in love with Fiona Apple
good
because
choice,
she was
too.
so tortured and she would have cut me in my sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Rihanna will do the same.
You
Yeah.
think? I don't think she'd cut you. I think she'd just full up stab you.
Yeah, she might.
Maybe
Because
punch you in the face.
Rihanna's very similar to Fiona Apple, whereas if they go through a really bad breakup, they write an entire album about
Yeah.
it. You know, Alanis Morissette used to do the same thing as well. But I've never, ever seen Rihanna smile. And I just don't think we'd really gel well together. In fact, there's not even too many news stories about how she's like really hard to work with or whatnot. But I mean, a lot of her content in her songs, I don't think I could really gel with her too much.
She
And-
seems really intense.
But if it
Really
starts,
too intense.
Ken, here's the thing: if it starts raining, you can stand under her umbrella.
Yeah,
She offered that.
It's a good reference.
She offered that.
And if I owe her money, like I'm really worried about that. So, do you get that one?
Yeah, I got
there
that
we
one.
go.
So
Yeah.
I just
That's when you
googled
put on
Rihanna
SOS.
smiling,
And?
and she really doesn't. Like it's like kind of mostly there's a lot of like
She's like thug
Toothless.
mugging it all the
It's
time.
like-
yeah.
thug mugging.
It's like these are the best
Bringing that up
ones of
again.
her smiling. Yeah,
And it's
no.
always
Yeah.
kind of like from under the eyebrows.
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
I might kill you. I might not.
And I
Yeah.
do think she's
You'll have to
really,
wonder.
really attractive.
Yeah,
but,
she's beautiful.
And she smolders more than I do.
She's
right.
got a cosmetics line out, and it's actually pretty fantastic.
Yeah? Okay.
yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
Megan Fox will go steal it from Walmart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lindsay, who'd you pick for attractive looks, unattractive personality?
I went Gwyneth Paltrow.
Well,
that is a
that's
great
the
choice.
pick.
That is a great
It
choice
is.
because I think we all thought Gwyneth Paltrow. We didn't know how crazy Gwyneth Paltrow was initially. I think we were all kind of like, oh, what a talented young actress. And then she comes out with like Goop and
She's just weird.
and all
Yeah.
these things
Yeah,
that she says.
she's a
Like
weirdo.
honestly, I believe there's websites out there dedicated to the crazy things that Gwyneth Paltrow says because she's crazy.
Yeah.
And she feels like everyone's living this like white collar lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's like she says things like, I think everyone should have diamond encrusted toilet paper. And everyone's like, we can't afford
Yeah,
that.
that's not a thing.
Also,
And that would hurt.
Could you imagine?
That would really hurt.
Yeah.
Well, and like the divorce with Chris.
Consciously uncoupling.
Which is
what
the
is
worst
that?
term ever. It's such
It's
a
just
parody
so
of itself.
pretentious.
And they
But
named
poor
the-
Apple and Moses.
Yeah,
though,
Apple.
really.
Yeah, they're the ones that suffer the most.
It really was a tragedy, though, and I was like, "Oh, I always thought she was so classy."
Yeah.
And then you see her in an interview, and you're like,
Nope.
"You're trashy.
You're the
like,
worst."
Yeah, like yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to be friends
a
with her
show.
growing up, and no,
Yeah.
Like we're on our high horses here.
Yeah, how dare you?
I couldn't hang with Gwyneth.
No,
She couldn't relate to anyone.
she's not going to hang with us guys. I'm gonna
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually chose Tyra Banks because Tyra Banks was one of the big supermodels back in the 90s, like
Right.
one of the greats, one of the most beautiful ones. And I was like, man, she is so pretty. In fact, there was a girl in our neighborhood that we said looked a lot like Tyra Banks, and we were all very, very attracted to her. And then she got on America's Next Top Model. And I've seen a few cycles of America's Next Top Model.
How many?
Like in total? You
Yes.
watched all the way through?
I've watched probably about, I don't know, 3 or
I watched the
4.
first few seasons.
Yeah, because it was fun to watch. And
Yeah.
one of my favorite things is watching how these girls who didn't look anything remarkable when they made them up, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they look like a model now. Like it's amazing how they did the makeup and the photography. But she unleashed the full crazy on that show,
Yes,
and
she
every
did.
time Tyra Banks spoke, I was like, she's insane. She's absolutely bonkers. And she talked about smize, like smiling with your eyes, and it's just that's the that's even, we just did it.
Oh, I missed it.
Gah.
Oh, wow.
But it's just every time,
That's
and then
intense.
she's so also very full of herself.
Yeah.
Like she is the greatest, she is the first, she is the best. And granted, she was the first woman of African American descent to be featured on the covers of GQ and the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. But she carries that like she is the end all be all of modeling and humanity. And I just can't get past it. So I can't see Tyra Banks as attractive anymore ever since I watched ANTM.
All right, I get it.
All right, who would you say is the hottest villain?
I went with Mystique.
Oh,
Ooh, wait,
Rebecca
wait, wait.
Romaine Stamos?
Rebecca Romaine Stamos
Yeah.
or Jennifer Lawrence?
I mean, you got to give it to Rebecca.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah. She did such a good job with that role. Like Rebecca Romaine Stamos, not a great actress.
No.
Strikingly attractive. And in that role, I thought she did a very, very good job.
Agreed.
As kind of the cold, distant Mystique.
Yeah.
So good choice.
Yeah. I mean, that there's nothing subtle about that costume, right?
No.
No.
But for some reason, like everyone's kind of cool with it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Well, here's the thing. Most superhero outfits are bodysuits.
Yeah.
Like they're very form-fitting.
Right.
Hers just happens to represent her skin.
yeah.
But yeah.
Anyways,
Ken, who'd you pick?
I can't think about that right now. I went with Michelle Pfeiffer. Catwoman.
Catwoman.
good choice.
Yeah. Well
this,
done,
This movie
sir.
came out when I was 11 years old, and she was probably my second crush. I mean, that role of hers in Batman Returns, like amazing. She's 60 years old now.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of the last time I saw her, but I remember her still looking really good.
She still looks great in Stardust. I know that was
Yeah,
a while back.
Ant-Man and
and
the
that was
Wasp.
about 10 years ago.
Oh, that's right.
She was in
She's
Ant-Man and the
in
Wasp. Remember
Ant-Man
that?
Oh, yeah. I tried to forget it. It's pretty awful.
Such a Judgy McJudgerson over there.
But also, she replaced Annette Bening in the role of Catwoman because Annette Bening was pregnant. So we could have had Annette Bening in that movie, and I would have never known Michelle Pfeiffer. And that
Yeah.
would have been a really, really sad day.
That's a fantastic choice.
Also, she was on the cover of People Magazine's first ever 50 Most Beautiful People, Michelle Pfeiffer.
Here's the weird thing. So on the last show, we had Sexiest Man Alive.
Right.
Because that's a category. But there's no Sexiest Woman
I
Alive.
was thinking this today.
There is now, though.
There is?
Is there?
Yeah,
Is there?
it's a newer thing. It's like maybe the past 5-6 years.
But
Because
why
they have
isn't
to
it-
make it a little more equal, obviously.
Well, and
Well, yeah.
my wife and I
Well,
were
how
actually
come I haven't heard of it then?
Here, I'll pull it up. I'll find the last
My
couple
wife and I were
ones.
actually talking about this, and what we determined is that it's probably because guys just think it's cool. It's like, hey, he got voted Sexiest Man Alive. Cool. Whereas, if you did a Sexiest Woman Alive, the woman might be, why isn't it me? What's wrong? Like, what's wrong with me?
Don't you find, though, that it seems like it's more acceptable to objectify men than it is to objectify women nowadays?
You could-
I really
you can say
think it
that.
is.
It's a lot
Yeah.
easier,
Yeah.
too, for me. personally.
Well, I mean, you'll see comments and stuff on message boards where people are talking about guys and how hot they are and everything. But if guys do that to girls, they get called out. There's
weird.
a huge double standard.
Well, and like just the other day, I saw, I think it was like E or People or one of those. They tweeted out something like, "Here's where you can pause the movie to see Chris Evans shirtless," or something like that. And I went, that just seems weird for a news organization to publish.
Can you imagine if that happened with?
That would be absolutely pervy.
Yeah, not okay.
It would.
So, by the way, I wanted to bring this up that someone out here put out in our unofficial poll that they said Daryl Hannah from Kill Bill.
Oh, okay.
And I went, I get that.
Yeah.
But I actually went a little more unconventional in my pick. My hottest villain is Regina George from Mean Girls.
Oh, you know what I actually thought about?
Did you?
Her good choice.
Because I was thinking of all the
choice.
classical villains out there, like
Yeah.
all these female heroines, or not heroines, the opposite of heroines, villains, I guess that's the word we're looking for. And then I thought of Rachel McAdams as Regina George, and I went, that is
It's a good pick.
so perfect.
Yeah.
She was actually 25 when she did that role of Mean Girls, and she's playing a high schooler. And I didn't know
that
this.
is pretty common for high school movies, though.
Yeah,
let's be
they're
honest.
always very
right.
old. But she's funny because she never seemed to want stardom. It just kind of happened to her. And then she even took a break after getting some of these big roles to kind of just do her own thing for a bit. And then she pops back in occasionally. And like I saw Game Night.
Game Night, yeah, she's great.
She was
in that.
hilarious in that. And in fact, she actually was very resistant to doing comedies at first. She's like, I'm not that type of person. But now I think she's kind of come into her own role and she enjoys it. By the way, in The Notebook, apparently her and Ryan Gosling hated each other during the filming of that.
Really?
Yeah.
They did not get along at all. Like, in fact, Ryan Gosling would leave set when it was shooting her because he's like, I'm not going to work with her when I don't have to.
Do we know why?
No, they just didn't gel. She just says
Wow.
it was weird to work with someone that you never got along with.
I'm pretty sure it was his fault. I mean, if you really think about Ryan Gosling,
I would have been
he's so
nice.
brooding. Yeah.
Also, she was
Because he was brooding the whole time.
All the time. That's Ryan Gosling.
I also want to bring up that she started figure skating at 4 years old and competed in skating until the age of 18. She also worked at McDonald's for 3 years.
3 years?
3 summers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. She's probably manager or something.
Yeah, but Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
and
probably manager.
she could also win for Best Smile, too, because her
She's
smile's
beautiful.
amazing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Big fan.
All right, next up, who's your choice for the girl next door?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I went with Jenna Coleman from Doctor
Oh,
Who.
I love her.
Oh, yeah. Clara, who was one of my favorite initial companions on Doctor Who and became one of my least favorite companions near the
Yeah.
end.
You both agree?
She just lasted too long.
She threw the key of the TARDIS into the lava, man. That's not cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems there with companions. I actually think that season where maybe your character was kind of ruined was a great season of Doctor Who. You would disagree because you don't like Capaldi very much.
No, I don't.
But
I
actually,
love Capaldi.
yes, and I think that season was
I'm all about Jodie Whittaker.
the
She's
best
doing
one.
great.
Fantastic.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
She's
so
doing
fun.
She does real good. The episodes are kind of iffy, but she's doing
She's
great.
channeling David Tennant, which is strange.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
is.
Oh, okay. And is that good?
She is.
No,
yeah.
it's very good.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Jenna Coleman has
Save it for
this-
the Doctor Who show.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
We can do another one.
Sure. We'll get Lindsay on.
Oh,
But Jenna Coleman.
That sounded really
I don't know
genuine.
what that noise was, but I was really
Sound
excited.
like a cat.
We did a Doctor Who episode like season 1 or season 2, and I got a lot of hate. But then I think we actually converted like a dozen people to the show.
I think at this
Nice.
point we probably could proceed because
A lot of
we've
people
warmed
will
the
not
audience
listen
up.
at all, though.
Yeah.
as they've said. But Jenna Coleman has this look like literally it's the girl next door. It's you'd probably pass her on the street and not even care, even though she's very, very cute.
Are you going to say this before you tell everyone that you love her?
Does she look like a rodent?
Broken
With a
rodent face.
broken face.
No, she has a butt cut, which is kind of weird. But no, she's super cute, and
That's a
I'll go out
hairstyle
there.
for all you out there who wonder.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay.
That's the thing that
it's-
Cher
it's
did.
a style of
through
jeans.
surgery.
It was every boy in 1996, right down the
with
middle.
the golden arches.
Yes.
Yeah.
I won't tell you what we called that. I can't say it on your show.
Okay, we'll say it after.
Family
Family
friendly.
friendly. Yes.
Girl Next Door for me is actually Katie Holmes.
Okay.
So Katie Holmes,
Katie Holmes,
she's
yeah.
been one of my biggest crushes for a long time, and I can't say it's because anything she's been in. Because I didn't
She
watch.
really hasn't had any good roles.
I didn't watch Dawson's Creek. I didn't watch Go until much later. I didn't watch. I'm reading through these just like Phone Booth. I did watch, but much later. Pieces of April, she was actually really good
She
in.
was,
Once again, I
yeah.
didn't watch it at all, but I always
haven't
had a
seen that
crush on
one.
her. I always thought she was beautiful. But she is to me kind of the this sounds bad, I know, but the goody girl next door. Like she's the girl you bring home to mom. Because, I mean, she was very religious. She went to an all-female school and graduated with a 4.0. She appeared in High School Musical. She got a 1,310 on her SAT. And just, she was all this nice girl. Like, just
I like
good,
you trying to
nice
redeem
girl.
yourself on this category by not sounding shallow at all, by saying all these facts.
I think you're projecting
It's really
yourself.
nice.
I've been giving facts this whole time. But she actually was offered the lead in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but she turned it down to finish high school.
Wow.
And she was in a play in her high school. And she was offered to audition for Dawson's Creek, and she's like, "Well, I can't leave my play. I can't leave the people I've committed to this play." So she mailed in her audition. She did a FedEx, like a video, and then FedExed it to him, and that's how she got her role.
And did they say, "I don't want to wait"?
I don't want to wait.
There we go.
But she's actually been nominated for Worst Supporting Actress from the Golden Raspberries for Batman Begins, and she even admits that her movies are, quote, usually not even in the top 10. Like, she knows that she's not. But she's famous because Dawson's Creek obviously took her a long way, but because of her marriage to Tom Cruise, which she got out of.
Well, it was the couch jumping thing. It was like, who's he doing that for?
So
Let's look her up.
It's a little weird. But also, in March 2011, Holmes filed a $50 million libel lawsuit against Star Magazine following a cover story which insinuated that she took drugs. And they actually ended up putting out an apology and settling because they were in the wrong.
Good on
She's
her.
a good girl.
Her and Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah, aren't they dating now?
Oh,
Yeah, no, they're
what?
together.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, there was some sort of thing where she wasn't allowed to have a public
Relationship for a long
relationship
time.
forever after Tom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, Girl Next Door. Super adorable. Love Katie Holmes.
Right,
So
Lizzie?
someone that's already come up once or twice, Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could tell you that Girl Next Door.
Yeah, I feel like that was the easy choice, but
Well, I think it's great. And I've liked her since The Rocker. I remember seeing her in The Rocker.
Yeah.
Did you see Superbad?
I didn't see Superbad.
Okay.
You told me not to see
She's-
Superbad.
Well,
I said it's on
told
Bid Angel,
you
and you're
not
like,
to see Superbad. She's awesome in it.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we've just got two more fellas.
two more.
And lady. I'm used to just saying
I'll
fellas.
be a fella. It's fine.
Yeah.
On this show. Yes.
Who is and I really like these last two categories. We're going to go with classically beautiful first. Joel?
I chose an obvious one. I maybe, and you guys may have as well. I chose Grace Kelly.
Oh, I didn't go old school at all.
I went old school. Like,
I went old school, but
Well,
she's my
classic
alternate.
kind of implies that, right?
well, okay, so Grace Kelly. If you don't know who she is, Grace Kelly is she's in Dial M for Murder. She's in To Catch a Thief. She's in
Rear Window.
Rear Window. That's the one I was trying to think of. But really, Alfred Hitchcock made her into who she was. Like before
He
this,
gave birth to her.
No, but like she did roles before. She was in High Noon and she was mildly successful in that, but no one really paid attention to her. And then Alfred Hitchcock made her into this kind of glamorous, elegant woman in his movies, and all of a sudden people started paying attention. So much, in fact, that the Prince of Monaco was attracted to her and ended up marrying her, and she became a real life princess, Princess of Monaco.
I wonder if Hitchcock was mad after that happened, like after he kind of built her up and
No, I
then
think
she was
I think
gone.
retired from acting.
No, I think it was like he was so proud of what he did for her.
Okay.
And in fact, I applaud her even more because she turned down the lead role in Marnie, and that
Yeah.
makes me really appreciate her
Oh my
taste.
gosh.
She really missed out there.
So when Cary Grant was once asked who his all-time favorite actress to work with was, he said without hesitation, "Well, with all due respect to dear Ingrid Bergman, I much preferred Grace. She had serenity."
Wow.
And then after her passing in the 60s, I want to say? No, 80s, 82.
80s, yeah.
She was 60, or around there. James Stewart delivered the eulogy, and I want to just read this quote.
Okay.
He said, "You know, I just love Grace Kelly." I was going to do it in James Stewart
I know,
voice,
yeah.
but it seems a little irreverent
Little rude,
because this is
yeah.
her eulogy. "You know, I love Grace Kelly, not because she was a princess, not because she was an actress, not because she was my friend, but because she was just about the nicest lady I ever met. Grace brought into my life, as she brought into yours, a soft, warm light every time I saw her. And every time I saw her was a holiday of its own. No question I'll miss her. We'll all miss her. God bless you, Princess Grace."
Aw.
Isn't that cute?
That's cute, yeah.
I changed my vote.
Top that, suckers.
Yeah, Kent, let's see what you got now.
See, I didn't actually go classic because I did it on the last show, and I felt like I was breaking a rule.
You chose Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah, Jennifer Connelly. So I went with someone that is current but has that classic look today, and it's Blake Lively.
Fair.
Yeah.
It's not real though.
It's wait, what? Wait, what?
Is she plastic?
Surgery.
Is it really?
Really?
Well, of course it is. I mean, look at her,
Googling it.
right? Yeah, Google like what she looked like before or whatnot. And it's funny because Ryan Reynolds...
She looks like Michael Douglas.
Ryan Reynolds...
Better than a rodent face still, right?
Like Ryan Reynolds has kind of had his pick of the litter. Like, you know, he married Scarlett Johansson for like 2
Alanis
years.
Morissette.
Alanis Morissette. And now Blake Lively. Do they have like 2 kids together
Yeah.
though?
She's probably had some work done on her nose.
Wow. I mean, oh, yeah, she might have. So the Sisterhood of Traveling Pants was her first job in anything. So she was kind of raised with the silver spoon. It was like not even McDonald's. It was like, and here's a movie that you're one of the main stars.
Yeah.
And also just a little, fun facts about their marriage.
Ryan
she
Reynolds
was,
Blake Lively.
when she was giving birth to her daughter, Ryan Reynolds came in and played Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On."
Sounds right.
friendly. I don't know. This is weird.
That is very peculiar.
Isn't it a really weird? And then also she's really good friends with Emily Blunt, so you can imagine like that double date with John Krasinski and then also Ryan Reynolds.
Aren't they the
well.
ones that started the lip sync battles? That
Yeah, I
group?
think so.
I think so.
Yeah, but I think she is really elegant looking. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a movie called Age of Adeline, which she is just kind of like perfect. It's not a great movie, but she has this really classic look that it's transcendent, like a century-old look.
She's got a Grace Kelly thing going on.
Yeah,
for
she does.
sure. Absolutely.
Well, that's the thing is, I think that the Classic of Beautiful, though, it's got to have staying power. So I agree with your choice, but let's see 10, 20 years.
Hey, she'll just fix it, like we saw.
Sorry to
All right.
ruin your
I know, right?
Lindsay? Classically
Audrey
Beautiful?
Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
Nice
Yeah,
choice.
I have loved her since I was a little kid. When I first saw My Fair Lady, I wanted to be her. Still to this day, I have a giant painting of her in my bedroom.
Nice.
I
That's a
think she's
great
just
choice.
Gorgeous.
Like she's one of those that's like an all-time beauty. Like you see her, and it's that same kind of elegance and grace.
Yeah, well, and even as she got older, she still retained that elegance.
When she was Pip in Always.
Well, and very sophisticated. She never changed, and she really loved animals. She had a pet deer, which I
Yeah.
think is really cool.
I remember reading about that.
Okay.
So I relate a little with my
I
sparrow.
think honestly, those two, Grace Kelly and Audrey Hepburn, are like the top two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like of all time.
When you think of like classic Hollywood beauty, that's kind of
Honestly.
you put it there.
Well, and it's not just beautiful; they were graceful.
Yeah,
and
yes. When I say beautiful, it's that kind of the whole wholesome package of
The
Well, 'cause,
aura, yes.
I mean, you could throw Marilyn Monroe in there, but she didn't have that same
No.
That's different.
elegance. I don't know.
But yeah, I was going to say it is one that you definitely think that someone did say Marilyn Monroe here in the Classic of Beautiful, and someone put Anne Hathaway as well. So
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, so the final category is the quote, hot but scary / intimidating woman.
Yeah, so maybe
Let's
going
hear.
back to what Kent said about Rihanna wanting
Are
to
you
cut
scared
him.
of rodents is really the question here.
No.
No. Okay. No. You're
Not at all.
enticed.
Eva Green.
okay, when she
Yeah,
came up
okay.
earlier, I was gonna say that.
Right.
She's probably been a villain in something too, right? She would have been a good one.
Everything.
What is that? Dark Shadows.
Dark
She was
Shadows,
the villain.
Yeah.
Penny Dreadful. She's
Yeah,
Vesper
yeah.
Lind in Casino Royale.
Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children.
She just has this look that is kind of sinister in a way, and honestly, it's almost unconventionally attractive. But she exudes passion and beauty all the time. I think she is absolutely stunning, gorgeous. Like honestly, I feel like she's intimidating though. She's only 5'6". When I see her on screen, I feel like she'd be like
She's only
2 or 3
5'6"?
inches. Yeah, I feel like she'd be like 6'4", 6'5".
Exactly.
yeah.
Because she would just destroy me. And then also she said one of her dream acting jobs would be to portray a serial killer, and 395 people out of 401 found this interesting.
You're looking on IMDb?
IMDb.
So
for sure.
all but 6 people found
But,
that interesting. That's
yes.
good. Yeah.
I feel like I would have... no, I'm going to stop there.
No, I really
I
want to
feel
hear
like
that.
I'm
You're gonna
very
have what?
intimidated by her.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go.
You'd have what kind of relationship? Is that what that was going?
Yeah, all right.
What about you guys? Joel, what about you?
I've actually brought up mine before when we talked about our 90s alternative bands. It's Shirley Manson.
Oh, of course it is.
From Garbage, from the band Garbage. She
Good choice.
She's Scottish. She's punk. Like she was dark and kind of gothy and scary. But I just found her strikingly beautiful, and I said strikingly beautiful like 12,000 times in the show.
So
For
how do you
that,
really
I apologize. But she also played a Terminator in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. She was a villain in that, so I was like, okay, that led some weight to that, even though I
Yeah.
never watched it. But she is just one of those people that I'm scared by her, but also allured by her.
yeah, that's a good choice.
Yeah,
So I had a few actually that came up.
she also has a Scottish accent.
Which never
like
hurts.
Scottish. Yeah,
Scottish
right.
accents are great. A few that came up, but the one that kept coming back to my mind was Cate Blanchett, who I think is really beautiful.
So when she turns
and
into the dark
ethereal,
elf?
But I don't know. I think I'd be afraid to even talk to her, and I don't know what it is about
She is
her.
intimidating.
That, yeah, she just seems intense.
Well, her intimidation isn't necessarily like she's evil. It's more just like she is above you.
yeah,
Well, and it's kind of like she's an A-list
And she doesn't have to
actress,
say anything
right?
either.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a Meryl Streep sort of thing where you're like, I don't deserve to be in your presence
Yeah.
right now. Yeah.
You feel that way about Meryl Streep?
Yeah, oh, come on. I think every actor says that. They would love to work with her.
Well,
and you're kinda
actor.
like,
I'm saying you. That's what I thought.
See, but if I ran into Meryl Streep, I'd probably talk to her. If I ran into Kate Blanchett, I think I'd turn tail and run. I think I would be really scared.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
She might actually have mystical powers of some sort,
She
right?
might.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
Well, and see, and you see her in a show like
She'll speak
Bandits.
Elvish to you, at least.
And in Bandits, she's so funny and quirky and,
Yeah.
and relatable.
I bet in real life she is like a joy to be around.
I bet she is.
Just because her roles are always usually dark.
Well,
Yeah.
she was in House with a Clock in its walls, right?
Yeah.
I remember because I watched that and I thought this is going to be interesting to see her in like a kids show, right? Because then it's not going to be so scary. And she was fairly like approachable, like accessible, less intimidating, but still it's still there, you know.
Yeah.
But
So there you go.
good choice.
Good choices all around. High fives all around. There we go. Here we go. Yeah. Good job. Yeah. So we thank you for listening to this kind of unusual show. We wanted to throw it out there because we had such a fun time with Lindsay and the Man Crush show. We wanted to do this one. So thank you, Lindsay, so much for coming back.
Honestly.
Thanks for having me.
Is there anything else you want to plug or anyone you want to give a shout out to here at the end of the show?
Any shows that'll be going on after this is aired?
Well, I've auditioned for a few things, but we don't know
We'll
yet.
wait and
We'll
see.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll throw it up on Facebook.
Awesome.
Right.
She's going to be playing Kate Blanchett.
Good luck.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Check out Jack the Little Sparrow on Instagram or Nerdy Blackbird.
Yeah.
Nerdy Blackbird. Nerdy Blackbird.
Jack is adorable.
Yeah. I was going to say, I love that little bird. It's very, very cute. Just follow that on Instagram. He has a ton of followers too.
More than you, right?
Like, way more than me. He's got like
You
1,400.
bring that up last time too. It's like
I've got
rubbing it
like
in.
100. He's got like 1,300 or
Oh
something.
my gosh.
Yeah.
He's a celebrity.
He's so
We'll have
cute.
him on the show next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
He'll sing for you.
oh, that'll be great. Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming once again. We really appreciate it. And let us know what you think about, like, play along with us. We want to know your answers for these categories. It's okay. We've done it. You can do it now too. This is a safe space. But if you want to find me, you can find me at
Yeah.
How safe this is.
We'll mock you, but we're not going to call the police on you or anything.
Right. We
Unless
won't
you get
objectify
creepy
you
like
at
Kent.
least.
You can find me at 76Joel on Twitter. You can find me performing with Quick Wits. They perform every Saturday night at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, it's ShowtimeShowdown.com.
You can find me on Twitter where I say very little, but if you say something to me, I will definitely say something back.
If you talk about you're wearing Crocs, you'll talk back to him.
I will. I responded to that. And then actually he didn't say anything back to me. I was really excited
Because you're
about
intimidating.
that conversation.
You're the Kate Blanchett of Baconsale.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm scared right now.
Yeah. I also speak Elvish. I wasn't going to tell you, but yeah, surprise. Also, go find Baconsale on Twitter and Instagram at Baconsale. And we haven't done a Patreon plug this episode. So if you want to support us and what we're doing here, go to
Some fun perks that
patreon.com/Baconsale.
come with that too.
And there's a lot of benefits that come with being a patron.
All right, until next time, thanks for listening to Baconsale and the upcoming Broken Rodent Face podcast. I slept with my cat every night, and it would always do that in my armpit. She's like, that's disgusting. I was like, oh my God.
Do you know what that cat did to your armpit?
Oh, yeah. And it was consensual. It's fine.
He does this. Hello. And he'll stick his claws like in the mattress and then rip and then go, hello.
So we're going to do it.
Here we are.
In the sake of political correctness, we are now going to rate women. It's like parcel tongue, only attractive.
You're just lucky I'm wearing pants at all.
But we just want people to come in here and have
Yeah.
no idea that we've talked
Yeah.
for 2 hours about women. So, Mom and Dad, what the heck were you thinking?
I don't know. See that movie. It was rated R. I had to wait like a year.
And it was Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
And I'm sorry, can she close her mouth? Little intimidating, little
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Not hot.
If Helen Mirren asked me out tomorrow, I would go for sure. But it's also kind of hard with the face. When they're playing patty cake, you feel dirty and you're a kid and you don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm rewind it. I think I've got a rabbit thing. But she's half mouth, half eyes.
Well, ack.
Let me finish. But her face. It's a little broken. You know this is how I compliment, okay?
I love your broken rodent face. Oh, thank you, love.
What too?
I've always wanted to be told I had a broken rodent face.
I think she'd be down.
you're the Kate Blanchett of Baconsale.
Aww.
Hello.
All right. Oh.